Aussie, 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 angry, 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 Aussie, 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 angry, 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 angry. Hoorah! It's 2021, and here we are. Well, technically, obviously, because New Year's Eve live stream went past 3 a.m. I was live streaming in 2021 then, but it started in 2020, so that doesn't count in my book. And speaking of New Year's Eve, people, Fox of Fate and Abigail, hello. Celtic King, hello to you. Yes, we're here, and we're alive-ish, I guess. Abigail's tonight going to be a party night. It's Saturday. I don't know. Not really intending, but let's see what happens. I need to make a couple of cocktails tonight. I haven't even really decided. I had some stuff written down on a piece of paper, which I then probably threw out when I was cleaning up. I don't see it anywhere here. When I say piece of paper, it was literally the back of an envelope. No, I might do this one. Oh, well. So I'm going to make a couple of drinks tonight, so I guess we'll see where that goes. I often try and do themes, and sometimes they leap out at me a bit. Tonight, not so. So this week, not so much. Although, end of the week is Elvis's birthday, and it's David Bowie's birthday as well on the same day. So I feel like I want to have a themed cocktail for that. Otherwise, I was thinking of just making cocktails using some stuff I've picked up recently. By stuff, I mean alcohol, of course. Lee, hello. And hello, Toby, who's with Celtic King, I guess, or at least telling Celtic King to say hello. Yes. Actually, maybe slow gin cocktail. I found a recipe, and I think I found it by searching slow gin. The Gin Queen. That sounds like someone who'd know, really, doesn't it? Unless they're lying. Gin Fizz, don't want that. Negroni, don't want that. The Blackthorn. I think that was it. The Blackthorn. What's the background here? Bars with cocktail books. Jim Mean and Jeff Bell are coming to Melbourne to take over Black. So the Blackthorn cocktail is from some big bar people. Okay, what's in their Blackthorn? Plymouth, slow gin, sweet. That's not the recipe I saw. It is absolutely not the recipe I saw. Damn it. Celtic King, this is my formal cocktail making wear. Oh, here we go. 10 slow gin recipes. Negroni, fuck off. Collins, I don't want to do either. Rosemary and limoncello. Slow gin and limoncello with sparkling water. I don't know. I just kind of feel like the highballs are cheating. Slow gin cherry brandy. Oh, I like rosemary. I've got some rosemary out in the garden. The Genie, slow gin and gin. Cranberry slow gin martini. Blood orange slow gin. Nope. Hate it when I can't find things that I found before. Celtic King, I got the tie 20 years ago. I couldn't possibly tell you where I got it. Which is good old Marvin the Martian. I think this was at the Sipsmith. It's coloured that I visited it before. Good and gin fizz. Yes, the Blackthorn. Oh no, it is with London Dry. Sweet vermouth. Wish. Irish whiskey and absinthe. Blackthorn. The Blackthorn cocktail. Yes. Okay, well, I kind of found what I'm looking for. Yes, okay, slow gin and gin. I'm liking the sound of doing it with Irish whiskey, though. Hello, Stella, and good evening. Although it's bloody afternoon for you, of course, in Western Australia. So, yes, I don't know about anyone else, but recovered from our New Year's Eve shenanigans. I got up kind of weirdly early, like at about 9:30, and I was clearly still under the influence when I woke up. But about 3 hours later, I was fine, and I drove Abigail home. Then I slept again in the afternoon. And of course, I didn't go live last night because I thought I needed to take it a bit easy. And then I actually had a little sleep this afternoon as well. So, you know, I'm as well as I can be, I think. What does imbibe say a blackthorn is? Okay, imbibe has the Irish whiskey version. So, it's Irish whiskey, dry vermouth, sweet vermouth. Oh, Christ, that doesn't even have gin in it. That is fucking weird. How does a drink get that different? Wow, okay, I'm not making that. Okay, fine. Yes, I might make that a blackthorn. Okay. All Abigail, all systems reporting A-OK, Captain. Good. Also, might make this one, goes with the Pacific Moonshine that I got. New Moon Mai Tai, Pacific Moonshine, Mac liqueur, pineapple juice, and orange juice. That's tempting. I don't think it would. Something. I don't know if there'd be one drink that would encapsulate the concept of both Elvis and David Bowie, though. Still, you're having a fibromyalgia crash. God damn. What if you manage to harvest some spuds? Doing anything is a major achievement. I don't think you should be talking down the fact that you harvested some spuds. That's a big effort. Jimmy Jam, a single malt for you and beer. No hangover, just a warm fuzzy New Year's Day. I fucking forget what we drank. We made a bunch of drinks on New Year's Eve when Abigail and Annette were here, and I literally forget how many they were. But considering I could still feel it at 9, and when did we start? Like 10, so we're still in my system. It took like 12 hours to get out of my system, so it was like 12 standard drinks over the course of the night. 12 to 15 standard drinks, I think. Hey, Toby. Foxy drank the straight bitters. I'll go for the. I think y'all talked me into doing that on one live stream a long time ago, doing a shot of bitters. And I've done the bitters heavy cocktail before too. The Trinidad sour that has 1.5 shots of Angostura bitters in it. Nettie, hey, how are you? So I'm going to think, what else? I bought something else recently. What did I buy? Ooh, rum. I should make a rum drink because I got my 75% rum. That should be easy enough to come up with a rum drink. There are so many of them, after all. That's right, the test pilot. That was the popular one, wasn't it? I made a test pilot, and Nettie really liked it. So you're saying Fox drank bitters twice? Okay, I don't even remember. So it's yeah. I just remember, a bunch of stuff happened. There were a bunch of people on the stream at various times, and yes, and then Abigail, by all means, let's do Angry Bunch. If you're in the mood. Oh, Stella. Okay, the bitters was in the after party. Fair enough. I needed to get some sleep, and we sent Nettie home, and then realised we'd actually kept Mrs. Angry awake, and in fact, anyone else in the house awake until 3 a.m. because we were making so much noise. But it was New Year's Eve. It's a one-off. We're allowed to get a bit carried away. Seeing out 2020. Fox, hello.
Hello, we are alive. We are alive.
We are alive, ho. Just cruising on as we do. Yes, got to decide what cocktails. You put your thinking cap on. Ideally, something that encapsulates sort of the rock superstardom of both Elvis Presley and David Bowie, because they share a birthday. So it would be easy to do one or the other, but
But their music is so. I mean, it's rock music, but their versions are so different.
Very much. And there's Lieutenant Commander Abigail. Hello, nice outfit. I love it.
Hello.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good. I've remembered some things.
I remember everything from the party.
Oh, good.
Mostly. Well, I don't know what I don't remember. So,
That is true. Yes. I remember all the bits that I remember. Yes.
I remember everything.
Nettie wants to know what she missed in the after party. Well, I went to bed as well, Nettie, so I don't know what happened.
Nettie, things happened.
And Abigail must have been much quieter by herself, because I was out like a light when I went to bed, because, like I was saying, the three of us together were keeping everyone in the house
Long
awake.
and prosper, Stella.
But when I went to bed, I just poof, unconscious.
You were very, very drunk.
Yes.
As was I.
As we all were, yes.
As we all were, yes.
Well, that's what I was working out at somewhere.
A good night was had by all.
Oh, it was very good.
Yeah, it was.
It was working out. I had somewhere between 12 and 15 standard drinks just by how long I was drunk. It was something like that. In other words, the sort of thing very much not advised by those big spoil sports known as health authorities.
Oh yeah. I owe a fancy glass.
Sorry?
I owe you a fancy glass that I broke.
That's an occupational hazard. I break them occasionally. So yes, we did lose one on and then we knocked. I think I knocked over the musket. The bottle didn't break, but we did actually spill some on the floor.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. So had to mop the kitchen the next day because the kitchen just reeked of alcohol because we spilled a couple of drinks, basically.
Oh, no.
Yeah, a bit dodgy. So
yeah,
but that's okay. So
we did pick it up in time. Like we didn't let it.
Oh yeah. No, not that much of the
long.
musket leaked, and I was surprised the bottle didn't break. But we, yeah, all things considered, it was a fairly casualty-free evening, honestly. But
for sure. Although there were shenanigans and hijinks, and it was amazing.
But that's what it's all about: shenanigans and hijinks.
Oh yeah.
Oh god, yeah. And at one point, Charlie's friend held their phone up to the camera with some porn on it.
Yeah. And while we were at this point, while we were broadcasting, so it's like, no.
Yes, yeah, that was on the screen. So Charlie smacked them and said, "No, don't do that."
Now,
but it was like
party, we wouldn't have cared.
No, afterwards, but there was at least 6, if not 8, people on the stream at that point. So it was a tiny little window, and with a sort of flared out of focus phone. So, and it was there for about 2 seconds. So, no biggie. I'm sorry, Nettie. I'm surprised you remembered the glass. Actually, I'd kind of forgotten, but
okay.
not that big a deal.
So I looked up David Bowie inspired cocktails and Elvis inspired cocktails to get some inspiration.
Yeah.
Okay. There's one that's called Hunk of Burning Love. It's the Elvis inspired one.
Elvis one, yeah.
Something there, I don't know what it is because it's a signature blend from a state of some kind.
Okay.
Some Frangelico, creme de banana, Coco Lopez, whatever that is, pineapple juice, and banana, obviously.
Yeah. I got that. Because that's meant to be like, it's. Were they trying to make that taste like it's like a peanut butter jelly sandwich or something?
If it's Elvis inspired, doesn't it need to have like lard and several other sorts of animal fat in it?
That's in his food certainly, but that's why doing something with a nut liqueur and what were the ingredients again, Fox?
Here, I'll put the thing in the private chat. There's the link for it.
Oh yeah, no, I found this one when I was looking. I think.
Okay.
All right, so it's a rum. Oh yeah, and they've got a very silly garnish on it, a whole banana covered in peanut butter and whatnot. But so it's a rum with a nut liqueur, banana liqueur, cream of coconut, pineapple juice.
Yeah.
And the joke is like the banana and nut is Elvis like banana or peanut butter sandwiches. So Charlie was getting up to mischief as well, yes, but we all do from time to time. So, and I wasn't necessarily paying attention the whole time, so I think a few things got past me. But anyway,
your channel and stream seem to be intact. So
good. Yes.
Good. Yeah.
It's all good. It's one of those things like if YouTube police said to me, "You did a bad thing," and I was going like, "A 5.5-hour stream when I was drunk nearly the entire time. probably did something bad." And it's just just fucking lighten up, guys. What the hell?
Yeah.
was the end of 2020. We were going to go a bit nuts.
Send this year off with a bang, and a few of us did.
Fuck is that? These fucking things that pop up and you can't get rid of. What the fuck? Fuck is that shit? I've said this before, but this is one of these things. If I had a time machine, I'd find out who invented the fucking web code that made pop-ups go on when you're on a site saying, "Oh, subscribe to the site," and I would fucking kill them before they invented that. I mean, they're actually before Hitler. They
Wow.
And it'd be more fun because they wouldn't know what they're being killed for. Whereas, you get Hitler anytime after about 20 and he knows what he's being killed for because he was always going to be Hitler. But this is just some stupid code monkey somewhere, and I'm just going to stick a gun in their face and said, "You're going to be really fucking annoying, and I'm not going to put up with it." And but of course, the downfall of that is some other dipshit would come up with the idea anyway. So, not saying I would be too lazy to kill them all, but
a lot of dipshits to kill.
It is.
It's just capitalism. Just like go for the head.
Yeah.
Kill the rich and eat them, and
So they've left off the beacon.
AZ kind of just vanished from the stream last night. Yeah,
he did, and that happens. That's often because of the various bit of his health. Sometimes he vanishes instantly to avoid drama. In fact, if I remember rightly, and there's every chance I don't, but if I remember rightly, I think boss of the house said something to him, and he went, "I have to go now," and very unceremoniously disappeared.
He was in the after party.
AZ's in a fucking terrible state. He has 50,000 different chronic conditions that cause him constant pain, and his body's packing in on him. He's in about as bad a state as you can be and still be alive, essentially. So, but he's a little trooper and he keeps soldiering on. So, don't feel like sugarcoating it though, because he's real fucking sick. I guess Nettie the cheese. We did eat meal free.
Yeah,
that did not last long.
I ate just enough that I didn't get sick from it. So
good.
That was lucky.
Yeah, but Stella, I thought we were going to get a sleeping AZ on the stream again because at more than one point he seemed to totally zonk out. And then he burst back into life.
Yeah.
I like that one. Oh, Stella, he came into the after party.
Yes, he was in the after party for ages.
I
didn't
realise he returned. Yeah.
I remember one of the times he nearly zonked out, we mentioned his name. He was like, no, I'm awake.
Yeah. There was that one stream where he just, in the middle of a sentence, slumped backwards in his chair and stayed like that for over an hour, which was hilarious.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, that's right. We were so sophisticated. We were eating cheese sandwiched between chips, as in Smith's potato crisps. It was a taste sensation.
It was great. It
was really good.
Fantastic drunken food.
It was really good. It was just salty and fatty and perfect. It was perfect. So that's okay. I never realized AZ came back for the after party. But he was falling out of the chair and hurts himself. That's basically how he ended up in hospital because he was falling over all the time.
Oh, no.
And he basically concussed himself, which made him fall over more. And there was no one to sort of say, hey, that's kind of bad that you fall over all the time and just randomly lose consciousness. And when he finally did get to hospital, they did the test. It's like, yeah, like he was concussed to fuck from falling over and hitting his head dozens of times. One of his 3 stays in hospital during COVID lockdown. And the lucky bastard was either side of the big outbreak. He was in once, and he got out just before Melbourne's big outbreak happened. And by the time he ended up in there again, it was gone again. So there were no COVID patients in the hospital anytime he was there.
I swear he's died more than Rasputin, that guy.
Yeah, I think that Rasputin crammed it all into one night.
And Rasputin actually died.
Is that the story?
I don't think so. I think they like poisoned him and stabbed him and shot him, and it took quite a while for him to actually die. Whereas AIDS spreads out his death episodes over a decade or two.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard from him since New Year's Eve, actually.
As far as we know, he's still alive.
Yeah. I'm sure boss of the house would have told me if there was any actual problem. But when he's sort of incommunicado, I just go, well, maybe he's sleeping. I'm not interfering with that. So, because he needs the sleep.
I swear my cat knows when I'm on stream and wants cuddles.
Yeah.
I want cuddles all day.
Yeah, as soon as it's an imposition, cats sense like, aha, focus is not on me.
Anytime I'm reading or on my phone, sitting on the couch or in bed, there's a cat trying to get in between me and said book or phone.
Yeah, I think I'll do that Elvis cocktail. Nettie saw a whole musical about Rasputin, so you know all about it. I only know like the 3-minute Rasputin musical, that great disco hit from the 70s. Rasputin, Russia's greatest love machine. Though I found out the weirdest thing. I don't know why I was looking it up, but the guy who's in all the film clips, he's not actually singing. He's just like there for look.
Okay.
He never sang on any of the records, and whenever they performed in clubs, they were performing to tape anyway, and they were just dancing and whatnot. And so he's like this middle-aged guy in there for no apparent reason, and he's like, okay, cool. The 70s, that was a weird, wild and lawless time. That was like the last time. Not that the guy in Boney M was ugly, he's not, but there were a bunch of ugly middle-aged pop stars in the 70s. And you have to be young and pretty these days. So I don't know if that's moving forwards or backwards, but you used to be able to be a pop star in the 70s if you were middle-aged and ugly.
And there's a thing of David Bowie-inspired cocktails. Were you angry in the program?
Oh, thank you. Let's see, maybe something with
rum and brandy and whiskey comes up a lot. So a darker spirit is generally what it is. Although, to be fair, one of them is just rum and coke.
Yeah, I mean, the other one I was thinking, these are the same ones I found. Yeah, these are cool.
Okay.
No, I thank you because I didn't save the link, so you sent me the link again. The only thing that occurs to me is a blue one, because the other thing that people do with Elvis is, of course, like Blue Hawaii. So you know. And, David Bowie had blue.
And that lightning bolt David Bowie does had blue in it.
Yeah.
There is one I found that asked for blue. It's there, the lightning bolt. It's on that page. I sent you as blue for a salmon.
So I could...
she's a good cat and a pretty cat.
You're a good cat and a pretty cat.
That's a start.
Hey, Salumi, how you doing? I was going to say something about the anthem word change. Pointless and meaningless, just like, Scotty from marketing and everything he does.
Did he change a word in the national anthem?
Because some people, I don't know. He's responding to a comedy sketch Briggs did a year ago, where he broke down why the Australian anthem was shit. And Briggs brought up the line "young and free," and it's like young, the oldest continuous human civilization on the planet, with evidence going back 50,000 years. Young, and so Scotty from marketing said we're going to officially change the line to say "we are one and free."
One of us.
No, that's why he means one nation, and it's like because he's eventually going to join Pauline Hanson. But yes, Shields, he's still alive, mate. Still alive. Oh, Salumi is casually dying. Nervous for a date tomorrow. There you go. Well, look, Abigail has set the trend for runs on the board with dates. So it's going to go well. That's all I'm saying. Because,
well, I'm 1 for 2.
Yeah, which is pretty good.
The date sharing. That's 50-50, I guess.
Yeah. But Safa's saying that Gladys Berejiklian was apparently involved in the momentous decision to change that one word in the Australian anthem. So the racist jumping on the "I'm not teaching my kids that" without understanding how new the anthem is. Well, yeah, up until the 80s, "God Save the Queen" was the official anthem, and Bob Hawke actually changed it.
I'm all here for "We Are Australian" as being the national anthem.
Yep. Also, that's
the
just
Seeker song.
way more upbeat than the actual anthem is.
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious when Pauline Hanson started playing that at her rallies, and the Seekers went, "Get fucked!" And also, what is wrong with you? That song is literally about it's really cool that we have a bunch of migrants here.
Yeah.
And, the opposite of what you say, you old psycho. And it's got to be weird when someone who's the complete opposite of you politically adopts a song of yours and you're just like, what the fuck was that about?
Awkward.
I heard the rumor, because way back, I remember Ronald Reagan playing the Bruce Springsteen "Born in the USA" at one of his rallies, and there was a rumor that Springsteen said, "Does he not know what the song's about?" Talking about how America fucks people up, and us ordinary working people are being shat on by the people. Oh, like hell, no, fucking stealth. Getting it.
Trump played a bunch of them as well.
Yes, you're right. Yeah, and every single person said, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Salumi. John Farnham was telling the anti-maskers to get fucked because I don't know they singing "You're the Voice" or something. Still, it doesn't get funnier than the Trump idiots in the US singing along to "Rage Against the Machine."
Oh yeah,
just because it has the line, "Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me," and going, do you guys not get this is an anti-cop song and an anti-racist song? And speaking of racist cops, it's Shieldsy.
Hello.
How you doing, man?
I'm alive.
That's good.
That's a good state to be in.
I got dehydrated.
Oh no!
During that stream.
Oh, is it because you were laughing so much at all our shenanigans?
I wake up dehydrated as hell the following morning. I'm like, what the hell? And all I was doing is sitting there counting down.
Hey, I need to pop over the road to get some mixes, so I'll be back in a sec. Is that okay?
Okay.
Ingrid,
Yeah,
if I just go offline for a sec. Cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll see everyone in a bit.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I think I woke up on New Year's Day and had like a 500 ml energy drink and and then drank lots of fluids for the rest of the
Do
day.
you actually remember anything from that night?
Yes.
I have a general sense of things.
As soon as you had that rum cocktail mix, yeah,
That's probably the
you
test
always,
yeah.
you
Yeah,
went
and that was about the third drink, if I remember, and yeah, we were probably downhill from there. Yeah,
Yeah, you were already drinking before the thing started because I remember you guys having a drink beforehand. You came on
Yeah.
while still having.
Oh god.
yeah, we were fine.
Oh.
Stella thought the ears were part of the headphones. No. Abigail's wearing cat ears as well.
Mm.
So, and good evening, nobody. How are you, sir? I got a. So I'm thinking. I was even thinking like doing that rum one, the test pilot for my cocktail channel because Nettie gave it rave reviews. So I thought I could do that one. I mean, I like it. There's a couple of. You just put rum and fruit juices in a drink, and it's going to be good, basically.
Mm.
The other one I liked. My book's just over here, I think. Legs work.
You sound like what I was when I woke up.
Yeah, no.
You
Oh
just
my
kept
god, are we allowed to go to massage places yet? I think my back and shoulders are packing in on me. This is the other one. The test pilot is the one I made, which is a good one. But this one's good. For some reason, it's called a 2070 swizzle. And you go 1 ounce aged rum, 1 ounce overproof rum, half an ounce sugar syrup, allspice liqueur, a few drops of absinthe, dashes of bitters. I mean, how is that different? Amber, white rum. That's quite different. Cointreau, falernum, a few dashes of absinthe.
Sadly, I had a bad experience with rum when I was 18.
Oh, so many 18-year-olds.
My brother-in-law's brother said, "Oh, try this." They sit the rum and like, "Oh my god, this is horrible." And then he turned around and made me a fire truck.
Dude, yeah, it's nobody. You were missed. You got an email from Nettie saying, "Where the bloody hell are you?" I actually remember Nettie sending that. So you had friends over, got a bit drunk, a bit sick, but otherwise good time. That's all right. It was all good. Whatever anyone was doing.
I think that's the main reason why I didn't drink after that.
Yeah, no, that's fair. No, was it Bundaberg rum that you had the thing on?
I don't know. He just came up with it. Taste this. Just went nope.
It's many an Aussie teenager has a bad experience because someone breaks out the Bundy.
I tell you one thing. I don't mind brandy in desserts.
Mm.
Yeah, a good brandy on a dessert is good. Yes, I agree. I didn't know I liked brandy till I started making cocktails. But
mine is my old neighbour. She decided one day we had dinner together and she made dessert and she put straight brandy on top of the dessert.
Oof.
Oh my god! It went straight to my head.
Well, that's how they do a lot of fondant desserts, especially with ice cream. They'll pour brandy on it and then light it on fire.
That's
why I would be a lightheaded person if you ever gave me anything with alcohol.
Yeah. I wonder if I should try and quickly make up a honey syrup, in fact, or not bother. Probably not bother, actually. I'm just trying to...
Oh, yeah, I just realized in chat Safa said they put brandy on pudding and then light it on fire.
Yeah. If it's high enough proof, you can light it on fire. Or if it's a lower proof brandy, like the normal ones are about 40%. If you warm it up, that's a little bit of chemistry there, kids. If you warm alcohol up, it's easier to set it on fire. If it's over 50% alcohol, it's usually comparatively easy to set on fire. And
So,
Salumi, hello.
so angry.
How you doing?
What you're saying is when we make those Molotov cocktails, we have to heat them up, warm the alcohol up first.
Well, no, because if you put the right mixture in them, they're usually somewhere in the 80% methanol. So they'll just burn. So just saying, you just got to
come in on Molotov cocktails.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yes, normally your drinking alcohol tends to be lower alcohol content than like kerosene or petrol. So, and if you want a bit of fun, I didn't tell you this, but you put Vaseline in there and shake it up, and then it goes all napalmy. So it sticks to what you throw it at then. And
I feel like somewhere in my work contract as someone who works for state government, there's something saying I'm not allowed to do that.
And if you get
I'm pretty sure that
do
everywhere
not
around
drink
the
your hand
world,
sanitizer.
you get one of those high alcohol hand sanitizers, stick a rag in it, and light it on end, and it's.
And Stella's just asking about my hair. It's currently navy blue.
Nice.
This is not the best lighting for it. Because my lighting has decided, hang on, I'm going to go turn on the big light because I don't know what my lighting's doing.
Shaf is now boasting ate 1.5 kilograms of pudding on Christmas Day. That is, that's quite the undertaking.
That's impressive.
It is.
So that's a little bit better.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that's showing off the colour nicely. Yes,
that's all right.
Or I
like
think
that.
what helps is that light
try
behind you.
Try one of the Costco cheesecakes. They're deadly. Oh my god,
and they're probably also this big, are they?
It's like you only eat like a small piece of it, and it's like you're having a sugar high.
Yeah. Like everything at Costco is huge. It's like... But yeah, no, I've never bought one of their cakes or anything because they're like too big to fit in my. If I actually had 20 people coming over.
Yeah,
if I had 20 people coming over, I'd get one.
That's the thing about Costco. Everything they make is really high in sugar. Oh my lord, it's deadly.
They're actually good if you've got a work party. That's where I found them useful.
Oh, that's basically all they do at the North Lakes one up here in Brisbane. It's like they go in, they just buy the the cakes and the platters. I think the other day when we were doing the Christmas shopping, there was one guy in there with a shopping trolley, and they were just filling it straight out of the back.
Okay.
It's like 3 shopping trolleys full of sandwiches. Oh my lord!
God damn! Yeah. Got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. I haven't been to Costco in a while because I live the opposite side of town from where our nearest Costco is in Adelaide.
Okay.
And it's not worth me going over there because I live by myself unless I was getting cat food, and even then that wouldn't justify the cost of a membership.
I'd just make an excuse for my dad to go. He's got the membership.
I'm sorry, I was just looking to check how long the New Year's Eve live stream was, and I've certainly been taking advantage of the fact that I'm not going to work. I was looking at, from Christmas Eve, did a 4.5 hour live stream on Christmas Eve, then 5 hours on Christmas Day, 3.5 hours the next one, 3 hours the one after that, then 6 hours on New Year's Eve.
I looked that up in the morning and go, how long were they still? Oh God, they only just got off when I woke up.
Yeah, from like 9 to 3 a.m. Safa, I wasn't there for the after party, but I have been informed that the sun came up. So
I tuned out early because AD was going on like different tangents, and I was just too tired to be able to keep up with them. So I watched my best friend's wedding instead.
That seems like a good
as soon as it was midnight here, I tapped out. I just could not stay up. My eyes were going.
Midnight, but I wanted to see 2020 out. I wanted to be sure it was ending.
I did it. I did it in 2000. I did all the way through midnight. It was almost daylight by the time I went to bed.
I remember I think it was the 2000 to 2001. We're at a house party, and I was a kid back then, And the adults decided it was like really funny and clever of them to turn off the outdoor lighting. But all of us kids could see that all the indoor lights were on. So clearly Y2K had not happened.
Right.
And it was like, I mean, there was an attempt, but it wasn't a successful attempt.
I tell you one thing, I had
You damn
I
kids
had-
and being able to see things.
I
How
had
dare
a
we have
pain-
Wi-Fi?
I had the pain in the ass the last few months of high school because I graduated in '99, and my teacher said, "Hey, Adam, you want to help me?" And guess what it was? It was putting this disc in to do Y2K on every computer in the school. Oh
dear.
my lord, that
Oh.
was a pain in the ass job to do.
Oh, nice. Nobody was seeing out 2020 posed over a bucket, wondering if you keep the drinks down. Or I like Justin's one. Justin, you and your best friend came out to each other, so New Year's Eve became a coming out party, which is that's fabulous. I like that.
Thanks. I love that. I wish that that had been my coming out experience. That was not.
Not great.
That was an experience. That's why we drink.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, the upside is
I
that my
got bad
dad's
COVID, Ed.
actually gotten really good now. Like, it's been. Hang on, I came out when I was 15, and I'm 29 now. My dad's pretty good now.
Oh
like my
god,
dad
you're a baby.
did the paperwork to help change my birth certificate and my name, but
Yeah.
it was not a fun time.
I turned 39 in a few weeks.
I turned 29 in
Oh.
November, and I was like, I swear I just turned 21. What happened?
I know, right?
You know the first 10 years of your being 20, it just goes by. As soon as you hit 30, it starts slowing down.
I just realized that, like,
Longer.
this coming May, I will have been in my workplace for 7 years, which means that technically I can access long service leave, which is terrifying. That I'm old enough and have been in a job
Yay,
long
you're
enough
adults!
to have long service leave. What is this? What?
At least you might actually get to use it. My old man, 1 year
Yeah.
before he could do it, he quit his job to move to New Zealand to work.
Oh,
Oh,
well, to be fair, he went to
Dang.
New Zealand. I think he
No.
got better.
Oh,
you still
Sorry,
pay out what you would have accrued up to that point. So at least he got something. But the worst is the
not
taxation.
back then.
Oh, not back- bugger. Now you're so much. Although you're guaranteed to get paid out, if it's been long enough, you might get a taxation of about 50%, and so you're
Yeah.
still getting screwed.
Yeah, no, sadly.
So
Is
So
there-
most on service leave will go on me getting gender affirming type surgeries. So that's. I don't know that that's fun.
Oh, it's a thing.
and Trouble's
Money.
back.
And here's Lieutenant Commander Abigail back. I just said I'm going to go to town. The Elvis cocktail, the Hunker Burn in Love, because I almost never bother with garnishes. But they've said to go full Elvis, you got to put a banana on top and like cut it down the middle and pour some overproof rum in it and set it on fire and like sprinkle bacon bits on it. So I'm going to fucking do it. I'm going to fucking
Oh my
do it.
god, no.
Yes.
If I had to set
do it.
something on fire, I would be terrified of setting other things on fire.
Yeah. So I'm crisping up some bacon now so I can crumble it.
Ooh.
I've got a
Can you give me some bacon through the computer, please?
yeah. It's the weirdest thing, a microwave
Cocktail.
bacon cooker, and that sounds like that would never work. But by some magic of convection and stuff, this actually, if you put it on for long enough, makes the bacon go really crispy, and it drains all the fat off too. So
Oh, that's good.
got to see if I've done
Justin
it for long.
It turns out another one of their closest friends came out recently that had their suspicions about a number of others we know. How old are you, Justin, if I can ask? Because I'm curious. I feel like there's certain age groups where we start to come out, and it's interesting because sometimes you'll come out, but then you come out again because labels change, and you might change because gender and sexuality are fluid.
Oh, for me, it was definitely a case of
31. Yep.
Okay, so
I feel like right now, between like 28 to 32, I've got a few friends who are coming out in different ways, which is really interesting.
That's a good age for it
Mm.
because you kind of figure yourself out by then a lot more.
So, like as I said in the chat before, I've got a date tomorrow, which is terrifying because I realize my anxiety is not actually about the date. It's about how do I dress for a date as a non-binary person that communicates that I'm non-binary.
Yep.
However you want.
Yep.
Well,
yeah,
yes.
that's a good answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. However you're comfortable, but also that's a real thing. Like,
Yeah, no, that's a real thing.
the subconscious cues
And
that you have to give off.
Passing as non-binary, which is bullshit, but is still something that
How is that a thing?
does. Yeah, like it shouldn't matter because technically, as non-binary, anything I wear is appropriate. But that anxiety disorders, woo!
Yay!
Yay, mentally
Would not recommend.
Yeah, don't get anxiety. It's not a fun time.
No, it's not.
That's the magic cure. Do you have anxiety? Don't. It's like
that's how you cure anxiety, according to every parent out there.
Yeah, if you have anxiety, have you tried yoga? I must slap someone. Like no, that's not a cure-all, guys. That's not how that works.
Yeah, so have you tried punching people in the face?
Yoga.
So there's something I have to mention about Starfleet uniforms, Star Trek. The uniforms that they wear on Star Trek are designed to be warm because they're for actors on a cold soundstage.
Also, they're in outer space. It's cold.
Well, space is an insulator, so you wouldn't freeze. So anyway, it wasn't quite cold today, and it rained recently here, so it's humid as all buggery, and this is not going to last long because I am sweating a lot.
That's okay.
But I made an effort. I made an effort, and I'm glad.
I'm in my hang on, see if it says wake up, piss off, pick up, repeat. My Viking shirt. Because motivation to function. Which was good fun. I realized that it's about a month until the Foundation revealed competition is actually due, which for some reason in my brain I'd added like 2 weeks to that deadline. So I've got 4 weeks to pattern, twirl, and then complete a historical costuming garment for a competition.
What historical period?
Because it's based on anything literature, I've chosen to go with Tamora Pierce's Song of the Lioness series, which is a massively underappreciated series. So it's medieval, but it's broad. So the only things I have to go by are the fact that it's medieval, which is a very broad category.
Yep.
And it's a person. And rereading this book as an adult, I was like, oh, I wonder why I identified with this as a child. It's a born female person who doesn't want to be a lady, who trains to be a knight, disguising herself as a man. And I was like, non-binary.
Well, I wonder what literature stories I've heard that in before.
And what I like about it is that she has friends who, as they discover that she is biologically female, that are like, I will still support you as you're female behind closed doors, but also support your identifying as male to be able to do this career that you can't do because society, which is lovely. But the costumes that are described in the books are very. It was a blue shirt and breeches. Breeches for the medieval period could be any of 10 different styles of pants. So I'm taking a lot of license with it, and also the fact that it's in a fantasy world, because technically a shirt would have cuffs, but because I suffered abuse, I don't like wearing things that are cuffed around my wrist because it reminds me of getting squeezed around my wrist. But if I put shearing around my wrist, that doesn't freak my brain out. And technically, because it's fantasy, you can't tell me that shearing didn't exist. So I've plans now, but I'm also like, how am I going to do this in 4 weeks?
Doing it in 4 weeks might be a challenge.
Yeah, and especially like I go back to full-time work this week.
Oh, okay, yeah, might be a challenge.
While I was on leave, that would have been great.
Yes, if you'd thought of this sooner.
Yeah, if I'd not realized, if I'd realized that it was due on the 3rd of February and not for some reason thought it was due on like the 14th, that would have helped.
So I'm looking at, am I still going to do this really stupid cocktail? Because they're saying to put to rim my glass with the crumbled bacon, and you do that by making a syrup with some honey and stuff, and so you're getting honey around the edge of the glass, and then dipping that in crumbled bacon, so crumbled bacon sticks to the edge of the glass.
I mean,
then making the drink and pouring it in. Yeah, I know. Abigail's vegetarian, so she's grossed out. Making the drink, pouring it in, sitting the banana on top, and you sort of dig a groove out of the banana and pour the overproof rum into that, and then set that on fire. I think I should make it while I'm sober, is what I'm thinking, because that's my best chance of something not disastrously bad happening.
Don't set yourself on fire.
We could definitely do the veggie bacon or something for Abigail then.
Yeah. But all right, I've got to do some prep.
Come on, you can do it. We believe in you. If I can do this outfit in 4 weeks, you can do this cocktail.
And not have an accident.
Yes, and not need to call the ambulance.
Ooh, just got to work on not eating the crispy bacon because it smells really good.
Yeah, that's always the hardest part. Even like good crispy bacon is so good. Like, you smell that good crispy bacon, and that can be tempting.
This is my microwave bacon. I've just crisped it up. Break up the
rice left over from my curry, so I made too much rice.
Oh, fair enough. But rice at lunchtime. Some little kofta balls and rice.
Very nice.
Yes. Improvising. I have no idea how well this...
Oops, done.
Was it Jersey?
From the sound of it, there was a lot of red-faced people at Donald Trump's New Year's Eve party.
Ugh. Trump didn't show up.
Wow.
It's all up on Twitter now. Everyone's unhappy.
Good. They're losers. They deserve to be ripped off by Trump. I hate them. If they haven't worked out by now that Trump's just a complete scammer, then they deserve to be scammed by him, quite honestly.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. All right.
We're so much closer to him getting out of the White House, though, so that's a delight.
Yeah, the next weird thing is January 6th is when they do the official thing of presenting the Electoral College votes to Congress, and Trump's trying to cause some shit on that day. It's all meaningless, and it's just he's just whipping the crowd into a frenzy so he can keep milking them for money for years. But the potential side effects are actually really quite scary.
Someone who's not
jobs.
I don't like capital punishment, but like with all that he's doing, I just kind of wish that we could just draw and quarter him. Because
have you heard about all the pardons he's been given?
Oh my God, yes, yeah.
It's terrifying. But what's stupid is that even if you get a pardon, you have to have pled guilty to accept the pardon, which means that you can then be called in any state case.
Yeah.
No, although
Okay.
they can still go through state prosecution.
It's only a federal pardon.
Exactly. Nobody said I was being too kind to Trump. I just had to call him cunt instead of Trump. That's Freudian.
Oh,
Trump is not his original name. It used to be Drumpf.
Yes, exactly. It's much like my mum's side of the family that had a Germanic name. They change it because Anglo-Saxons can't pronounce it. And so they anglicize their name and then carry on when other people are migrants. It's like, hang on, guys. You were migrants.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Where's an extrovert when we need one?
That's okay. I'm distracting myself from not being an extrovert.
I was just getting notifications telling me to make sure I do my daily gratitude. I'm like, what's my gratitude today? That I'm alive, that I have food, that I have a cat. Probably that's it.
Cat.
He's hiding from me currently. He's mad because he wasn't allowed to eat my chana masala. Like, it's not cat food, but in his mind,
Yeah.
all food is food.
Yes, all food is
Well-
cat food because cat.
Yes.
I am grateful that I made the best trade on Rough Trade Melbourne today.
Ooh.
okay.
I had a spare HDMI cable and they had a spare strap-on. So
Oh,
trade
hey.
successful.
I love that.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good trade, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you got
And
the
they were
deal out
super
of it.
chill about it too. It was, and they had a cat. I got to meet another cat.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Sajuk, how you doing? A lot of Germans in Australia had to change their surname to avoid persecution.
Yeah.
It's certainly led from England,
Yeah.
And
not least the royal family.
exactly,
Windsor
even
is
the
not their
royal family
name.
did that because they were they had a Germanic name from all the incestuous inbreeding, and so they changed to Windsor because they figured that that was Anglo-Saxon enough it wouldn't get them in trouble. They were what, Mountbatten or something?
No,
Sorry,
that was
something.
That's Philip. What was
no. The German name was like Saxe-Göteborg or something
That's
like
it.
that. It was super German. I always like to insult royalists by saying their name was
there's too many
Schicklgruber.
surnames. I say as someone with two surnames.
But yes, there was a worry that around the time of the First World War, people might start to think the British royal family were a bit too close to the German royals with the shared name and everything, so they changed the name. Phil the Greek wanted to change because he thought when he married little Betty Windsor, him being the man, she would take his name, which was Mountbatten. But apparently there's really complex politics behind that people said no.
No.
Because the royal household is Windsor.
The house name was originally Saxe-Coburg-Gotha.
Yes.
Three hyphenated names. Yeah.
I was shorten it to Schicklgruber because that's the name that Adolf Hitler's illegitimate dad was reputed to have. I think that's a bit
breeding.
clouded. Oh yeah, could be worse. What was that really inbred British? Habsburgs. Oh my God, they got so ugly with the inbreeding. You know, I don't like to be judgy, but they turned into freaks.
No, they had a face only their mother can love.
Even their mother, though, would have looked at it and gone...
No, I don't think she did. I don't think she did.
It stuns me. I was doing a bit more reading, obviously, in the last year with a lot of this discussion around Black Americans and people of color, and because obviously being white is actually a recessive gene. White people are not a thing that was supposed to exist. It's because we, through evolution, existed because of colder climates. And it's really interesting when you look into it because I find it really ridiculous. I mean, white supremacy in and of itself is bullshit. But the fact that they're like, we're the supreme race. We are all one race. It's just a bunch of us are mutated to not have melanin. That is what the problem is. I am one of those who does not have the melanin. I would love the melanin. Unfortunately, I'm too white.
Oh yeah, no, I have two colors, white and red. There's no sort of
I love when people are like, "Oh, just get some sun, you'll tan," and I'm like, "No, I don't come with that setting. I'm Irish."
Yeah,
you were red on New Year's Eve, Chris, and New Year's Day.
Oh,
I think
your face
seriously
red.
though. Like,
probably.
I'm too Scottish.
Normally,
I'm too
the
Scottish
videos
to
of
tan
me,
as
whenever
well.
I jump in, I'm normally red, and I'm probably a bit red right now, just because yesterday I was in my friend's garden helping them do weeding while we were talking historical sewing, and they were going, "Come on, do the Foundations of Real competition, suffer with us."
But the thing is, white people can be the most colourful of all because punch will go purple, go out in the sun will turn red, in the cold we turn blue. What else is there? Like we have
if you have liver failure, you'll go yellow.
Liver yellow, yep.
Yep. Drink too much colloidal silver, you'll go blue.
Yes. too much carrots, you'll go orange.
Yes.
Make angry, he'll make you go blue too.
Yeah. Right. You got my. See, look, I've got a little plate of crushed bacon now. So, are you worried about my meat cleaver?
I'll be good.
I thought I could crunch it up, but it's just flying everywhere. So I'm like, no, it's good. That's as crunchy as it gets, I think.
The knife just made me think. Apparently, if someone asks you in a mental health capacity if you have access to weapons, they don't mean kitchen knives. They mean anything that is legally declared as a weapon, not anything you could use as a weapon, which I find problematic because if I'm suicidal, anything could be a weapon. I've considered killing myself with a sewing awl when I've been suicidal. Now, that's not in and of itself a weapon, but for the points of mental health, like care, that's not a weapon. That's bullshit.
Yeah, it's just like they say, anything's a dildo if you're brave enough, and anything's a weapon if you're determined enough. So,
and especially if you're asking someone if they're suicidal and if they have suicidal ideation, maybe just ask them if they've got anything that could be used as a weapon rather than anything that's legally declared as a weapon, because those are two very different things.
Yeah, but the fact is, everyone has something, so they're just trying to get out of trouble, basically.
I was having this discussion with someone a couple of days ago, and when they were saying how apparently a house knife is not a weapon, I was like, sorry, what? I would disagree with that based on a lot of the northern suburbs stabbings.
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh about that, but
oh no, laugh! It's the northern suburbs.
Yeah,
I grew up in it. But that's the thing, like things that aren't technically weapons that can be used as weapons are still weapons.
All right.
They also have other uses.
Where's my Benine liqueur? Oh, that's Benine. Getting all my gear together to set myself on fire.
Hey, Angry, you should angle the camera down so we can watch you light it on fire on a safe surface.
Yes, please. And make sure you don't get your sleeves out the way.
Do the what? Sorry?
Get your sleeves out the way so you don't set yourself on fire.
And angle the camera down.
It's
I
entertainment
read too many
tonight.
case cards of people doing stupid things. I work in the ambulance.
Wait, what else am I meant to have?
You work in the ambulance service, Salome?
I work in the billing and debt side, and I'm just about to go back to billing. Because I was in the debt side, and I was like,
Look at Libby's.
I can't do this, especially after the last year where everyone's like, we've got no money. And I'm like, fair. Yep.
Positive of living in Queensland. We got free ambulance
Every
services.
state's different. South Australia is the only state using paper case cards, which drives me nuts. Because we're the only state that has to quarantine our case cards for up to 2 weeks because we cannot touch them because of COVID.
Oh, bloody oath.
But we're so understaffed, we're not even up to there on billing, so who cares? Because why would we have adequate staffing? We're government. I'm not bitter.
Not at all.
Oh, everyone hates their
We can't
state
tell.
government.
We can barely tell.
It's all right. I've been there long enough. I'm nearly getting long service leave. They can tolerate me. I'm also our union rep for our section, and I'm permanent, so good luck.
Yeah, you're the union rep. They wouldn't dare fire you.
I mean, they could try, but they'd have, especially being the only out non-binary person and one of the few queer people who's really openly out there, they'd have a fun time trying to get rid of me.
Yeah. Oh, and hi, Robot Man Greg, by the way. Just saying hello.
That's one thing you got to laugh about Queensland. Yes, we're run by the Labor government. The Labor government has so many fights with the unions up here.
It's so weird. I don't get it.
It's weird, yeah.
They're supposed to work with the unions. That's the whole point.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the
But
funny
even
thing about
that's the last. So Liberals got in at the last election. Before that, we'd had Labor for 16 years. But the Labor government had become complacent to the point that people weren't trusting them, and that's why they voted in Liberals. Without remembering what the Liberals' core tenets are. And it's that thing that, you know, I'm not going to say that I'm one party or the other. I'm not allowed to anyway because of my job. My point is that I'm for human rights. And human rights are a livable wage, are equal rights regardless of your gender, sexual orientation, religion, race, you know, anything like that. And that is not what Liberal Party stands for. That's theoretically what Labor Party stands for, but our Labor Party in our current state doesn't really do that. Our Greens do because they will never get into power.
Unfortunately.
I got to laugh at the unions in our state. Like, they protest for raising their wage for bus drivers and that in our state, and they keep protesting in Brisbane because it's a Liberal council. But the funny thing about it, it's the Labor government who pays their wages. Because the state government runs the public transport system in our state.
They're trying to privatise our public transport in South Australia, and they've been gutting it quite a bit. And like that's not just been a Liberal policy; that was something that the previous government had done as well. So it's not one party that's done that. But the problem is, if you want public transport to run effectively, you need to put enough money into that. Well, they're not. Like, they just don't put enough money into public transport. They keep cutting the services and then wondering why it's not working. Well, because you're cutting the services.
Compared to Labor in our state, they do a half-hearted ass job trying to do services. And, like, it's ridiculous that you can't get certain places for a long time. Like, they opened the new hospital up on the Sunshine Coast. Not one bus service went to that hospital.
That's
not
ridiculous.
One until about 2 years ago. And the hospital has been open for, 5-6 years?
I mean, you look at the Royal Adelaide Hospital that got restructured under Labor government that Liberal governments fixed, that no one could have fixed because that hospital was clearly built with no consultation with anyone within a medical field. The rooms are not big enough for you to have an ECG monitor in the actual rooms for a patient. It also had less beds than the original Royal Adelaide, so we had less beds going into a brand new hospital. Makes sense of that. And then they also, because of, like, we had 5 hospitals, and they closed down the repack, which didn't make the most sense for money. And then we could get 4 hospitals that were going to be reasonably well staffed and not be majorly understaffed. So then when the Liberal government came in, they reopened the repats, and now we've got 5 majorly understaffed hospitals. How is that any better than 4 minorly understaffed hospitals?
That's all right. They privatised the Sunshine Coast Hospital. It's still a public hospital, but it's privately run by Sunshine Coast University. And then they literally almost closed down the Nambour General Hospital, what had been servicing the Sunshine Coast as long as I've known. And sending people as far away as Gympie to Koana when Nambour was closer.
All right, I'm going to let you find people continue this conversation, and I'm going to leave the camera on, the microphone off, so you can see when I try and set shit on fire. And
yes, make sure the camera's in angle.
Point the camera on it.
We'll say, maybe I want some cinnamon so I can really show off the fire. Actually,
Yes, and that will actually be better.
And I apologize if my voice is up and down. I'm on my second dose of tea. I'm about to get my third dose of tea. So my voice is just a teenage male, apparently.
Yeah. It's all good. I live with a teenage boy at the moment, and it's hilarious.
My younger brother's not going through that, and it's really funny because my voice is changing quicker than his. And I'm like, but in all fairness, yours is natural. Mine is medicated.
Yeah, well, store-bought is fine.
Yeah. It's different.
Yeah.
If you don't make your own testosterone, store-bought is fine. So
I don't laugh.
It's like...
My voice never cracked. It just smoothly transitioned.
Nice.
Everyone else in my group, you can hear when their voices cracked. It was hilarious.
It's like when people ask about my boobs, and I'm like, I haven't had a boob job. I just grew them at 30 years old, and they're natural. Their natural boobs are just, there was store-bought estrogen. That's all.
Exactly. It's still yours.
And they're amazing too, by the way.
People who don't know how hormones work.
I can't wait to eat mine eventually when I can afford it.
I wish there was some sort of like exchange program for people. Like seriously, organ donors.
Yeah, I had a chat with my my amazing hairdresser Mario, because he and his partner have talked about, down the line they want to get like a surrogate, and I was like, if I could just chuck my uterus at you, I don't want it. If you could just take it somewhere,
yeah,
that'd be great.
Yeah, put it to good use. Anyway, I'm gonna go get changed because
one day stem cells will do that.
Well, and I know they have done some.
I wish
they've done some transfers for people who are assigned female at birth who just have been born without a uterus or have been born with uterine problems. They have done safe transplants with that, but as of yet, I don't think that a child's actually been fully developed and then birthed through a transplant uterus. I'm waiting for that to happen, but I have a funny feeling I'll be eating mine before that ever happens, so mine will probably end up as bio-waste. Seems a massive waste of a perfectly good organ that I just didn't ever ask for or want. The cat has completely abandoned me tonight. Normally he's right here because he likes Andrew's voice. Not tonight.
We're gone. I had enough of that. Bye.
I am not allowed your curry. How dare you?
Oh, there we go. Oh, the feedback.
He's explaining it to his video. We want to see the fire. Yep. Come on.
I know, right?
Oh, God.
Not that I'm a pyromaniac, but also set it on fire.
The reason we told you to do this one is so you could set it on fire.
Exactly.
But no, so Lumi, you mentioning that you were doing a relatively historical thing and you're worried about the cuffs or the sleeves.
Yeah.
A YouTuber I watch, he goes through manuscripts and all that and finds things. He did a video, 2 videos actually, on it, and you could get away with a loose sleeve for a regular outfit.
Oh, okay.
I'll throw it in the private chat.
Yeah, I was going to say if you could send me something, because
Look in the branch.
yeah, a lot of what I researched, it was hard because
Yeah.
like they're like the medieval period. It was like fuck those because it was centuries and like that. That's not helpful.
Yeah,
If
and to
you
make
could
it even
give me
better,
more.
the YouTuber I'm sending the video from is an Aussie, so yay! Just extra, yay!
All right, I will bookmark that, so I will watch
Yes.
that tomorrow morning before my date.
Yeah.
What is
Before I
this
end
video?
up as a dead body.
Something on medieval clothing and stuff.
Oh, is
for
this
Sulu.
from Shadowversity? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's Yeah, I watch
Yes.
some of his videos.
So do I. Yeah. I had a feeling you watched some of those things, Abigail.
Yes.
Your sword knowledge told me that maybe.
I watch a lot of like Bernadette Banner and
yeah.
Kathy Hay, Morgan Donner, a lot of the American and British people.
Yep.
But yeah, I was looking at like even just something as simple as breeches, and there are so many different types. I was like, I'm going to wear something that's a little bit more form-fitting because I have the idea that if you're a knight, you don't want someone grabbing a giant bulbous pant. I feel like that's a bad idea. So yeah, but I mean the easiest thing of the costume is that like she says that she binds her chest in a, and I'm like, well, I have a binder, so that's easy. Just gonna wear that. I don't get points for it as the costume, but I'm like, look, it's accurate. I'd message one of my friends, and if I don't message you after tomorrow, I'm on a date, so I may be dead. And she's just like, good luck.
Oh, Abigail's computer died.
Oh
no.
Well, her exact words were, my computer pooped its pants.
Oh no.
Is it dead, or turn it on and off again dead?
Yes, just try to turn it on and off.
If it's the latter, it probably already did the off part.
Yeah.
If it's the former,
just the browser.
Oh, just the browser. Okay.
Well, hopefully, if he gets it back,
Just
then once
reboot it.
Angry's done the video of him setting shit on fire, hopefully we can get Abigail back. But yeah, I laughed at the description that I was looking at for the costume that I'm going to do first, just because I think it's something that I'd wear more, and also the fabrics are going to be more affordable to buy, is like a shirt with breeches and boots. I'm not going to make my own boots because fuck it. So I'm just going to put my Doc Martens with it because it just says boots.
Yeah.
It's very vague.
Yeah, I mean...
And you only get marked on what you've sewn yourself anyway. So I'm just like, this is the overall look. But like, look, breeches and a shirt. Hopefully that's enough. We'll see.
Yep.
It's my first year actually bothering to sew for this competition because normally I talk myself out of it.
Abigail, the rest of you was always super cute. At the very least.
Abigail, you're always cute. Big bad ads, whoever that is, has said about the lyric in the national anthem being changed. I know that was just
earlier.
So watch back.
Or a CliffsNote version, I believe, was it's a stupid and I don't remember what else was said, but not a very well thought out idea.
Love you, Abigail.
No, Abigail, we will not.
We love you. You're amazing. Oh, he looks a bit fine there with an eyedropper bottle.
I know, right? Come on, Angry, light it on fire already.
Burn, baby, burn.
Burn, baby, burn.
The
suspense is killing me.
I know. Every time I move this arm, I keep seeing this tattoo that I want to remove, and I'm annoying myself.
Oh. I mean, you could always get it covered up or with another tattoo or something. Or
I'm
change
gonna
it a
get
little
it
bit.
lasered first because it's really dark. And then I'm gonna cover it. I need money. So hopefully by mid-year I can afford to do that.
I want more tattoos too. I just don't have the money for them.
Yeah. I was looking at the cost and I'm like, the laser clinic near me is reasonably affordable and I know they've had good results because I know people who have gone there. And then I'm going to go to a friend who is a tattoo artist to be like, stab me multiple times, please.
Oh, Abigail on blood thinners, so can't do it. Oh, that's not good.
Yeah. See, I have high iron, so my blood clots really easy. Tattoos are for criminals in Safa's culture. I mean, I was raised as a minister's daughter, so like
you rebelled.
But also my dad went and got tattoos too. So my dad, who's the minister,
double rebelling.
I love that. But I did love, like, with me changing my name while he was over for Boxing Day, he's like, oh, about my tattoo. And I'd forgotten he has my birth name on his tattoo. And he's like, I don't know. He's like, I don't really want to like change it because like for him to go through laser and then a tattoo is quite a lot of pain. And I was like, look, it's your body. It's fine. He's like, we could do like a little asterisk in your name. And I'm like, I'm not fast because it's your body. Ultimately, that was correct at the time that you got it. But that was nearly 10 years ago now. So he couldn't have known what was going to change in 10 years. But I just love my dad's just like, oh, I'm sorry, because also tattoo. And I was like, I don't sit there staring at your arm, so it's good.
Exactly.
Oh, Nintendo Lunchbox says hello from Vegas. Hello. Minister of what and which party? Oh, so my dad was a minister within the Salvation Army.
Oh.
Yeah. The less we say about them, the better.
He left the church a bit over a year ago, I think now. And my dad's dad, who I love to pieces, my papa, actually wrote several, like about 40 pieces of music that was published by the Salvation Army. But my papa and grandma, who are my dad's parents, were the kind of Christians who understood that judge not lest ye be judged. So when I, was dyeing my hair and shaving my head and whatever, they were just like, whatever. My grandma used to jokingly tell me that I'd give my papa a heart attack, and my papa just told me I looked like a tattoo model. So, whereas like my mum's parents, who actually weren't really super at the church, other than they attended the church and were also Salvation Army, I never came out to because I stopped talking to them before that because they were so abusive. Because they were kind of like, we'll beat the religion into you, and it's like that's not how that works.
That's the opposite of how it works.
Let's not do that.
I'm not a religious person, but Salvation Army helped my family a lot when I was younger.
Yeah, I think their charity stuff is really great. Them as a religious organization is really problematic. And a lot of that is to do with the structure and the people who are in power, like positions of power, who don't want change and don't want to give up those positions. From what I've observed as someone who grew up in that church and left that church for that reason.
Yeah.
And it's very different in different countries, it's different levels of awful. Within Australia, there are definitely very small churches that aren't as bad as bigger churches and aren't as bad as areas that have more of an influence. Yeah. Even within Adelaide, there are small Salvation Army centres that I've had amazing experiences at, but others that I've been like, nope, never in a million years. What's he doing? He's pouring something now.
He's pouring.
Okay, now he's putting the rum. He's putting the rum or whatever it is into the banana. Here we go.
He better take my advice and
that seems safer. I'm still concerned about him holding the glass.
Is it go?
Is it going?
I can't tell. No. Oh!
Didn't work. Add more booze.
Cinnamon.
Oh!
Okay,
That is so cool.
Yep.
Oh my lord.
Okay, whenever I next get to Melbourne, I definitely need a cocktail night with Angry.
I think we all do.
Yes. Well, when I next get to Melbourne, I'm also doing the legal change of my name and gender, so I'll need a drink.
All the drinks.
Abigail's like, yes, cocktail night.
Yes, cocktail night.
Someone will say, I love that. It's a hot cock. Very, very well observed. Hot banana, hot
Indeed.
cock.
Oh!
That would have been a great joke for New Year's Eve party and the after party.
Yeah, Abigail's pointing out a lot of the flaws within the Salvation Army and the higher-ups. Yes, it's there is a lot that has been said by the higher-ups that is just proof that it is so homophobic, transphobic, problematic, and as I don't personally support religious organizations, religion and spirituality I'm fine with. I think religious organizations should not exist because they are for profit, even though they claim they're not for profit. And want to exist as a charity, do that independent of your religion. Do that just because you're not a dick. That would be great. Nintendo Angry is muted because he's recording for his cocktail channel at the moment. So that's why we can't hear him. But if you jump onto his Angry Cocktails channel later when he uploads the video, you'll get the full audio.
I hope he mentions that those of us
the difference between ministers and priests? I'm guessing that priests are normally tied to the Catholic Church and they're not supposed to get married and have kids. Minister is just depending on, like, you have different titles based on the church. Because of the church that he was in, he was a minister. That was just his particular title based on the religious organization. And yet, the organizations do want the power and the money. They want to be able to throw their power everywhere and control everything.
Other than some minor differences, like as you said, Salumi, priests in Roman Catholic tradition, probably Orthodox as well, are meant to stay celibate, not marry, etc. Basically, Abigail, Catholic versus Protestant minister is, but they're the ones up the front of the church doing service. They're the ones running the day-to-day. Then, of course, sometimes you get deacon.
Damn it, you're still alive.
Well done for not setting yourself on fire.
You survived, yay.
He can't hear us.
Can you hear us? Can you hear us yet, Dad?
I can hear you now. It worked. It worked.
You survived.
Oh, Abigail's there. Sorry, I got to bring Abigail back.
We got a bit worried.
I'm back. Well, yes, thank you.
So
my browser pooped its pants.
Set it on fire.
You need more RAM.
On fire.
I've got 32 gigabytes of RAM.
Oh, come on. How could you crash your browser with that much?
Staffers said that in their Orthodox community, the priests can marry. It depends on
accidentally pressed backspace.
And from particular community to community. It's particularly within Roman Catholicism, it is generally understood that they should not be married, but it depends on cultural background, on religious understanding, and also on local communities. Sometimes local communities will be different as well.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, although Abigail will be disgusted, I did the bacon bit like as a novelty, but it tastes really good. It's like rum and tropicals, like coconut and pineapple and banana.
I think it's too much banana for me, to be honest. And someone's going to make that dirty and, like, whatever.
Abigail,
it sounds like a Hawaiian drink now.
Bacon.
It is. It is very Hawaiian.
Here, one person at a time.
I could have put some blue curacao in to make it a blue Hawaii for Elvis. So,
Andrew, I was saying, whenever I get to Melbourne, because I've also got to get to Melbourne at some point this year to do my documents to change my gender and name, we need to do a cocktail night.
Oh, yeah. Yes, oh yes.
That would be
So
great.
I'm hoping before uni goes back at the end of March, I might get over there. But at the moment, we've just got to wait and see. I'm not holding my breath with how chaotic work's been.
Oh, this is just a meal. Like
using ambulances.
got a caramelized banana in here. Oh man, the rum caramelized banana tastes really good.
Yeah, I got a bit worried at one point when you were doing that, Angry, because there was we couldn't see the flame when you were lighting it, and we're like,
yes.
Did it work?
Ethanol flame is very hard to pick up on camera.
Yeah,
but
and
then
then we put the cinnamon
on it.
Yes, it looks so cool.
Oh, we were just so excited once that happened.
I was pretty excited. Like I'm almost sure that's a light, and I cannot see anything. So I used the gas lighter. I just made it so the gas went out without sparking, and it caught on fire. And I went, "Yep, okay, there's a flame there. Even if I can't see it, there's a flame there."
Yeah.
That's like with the racing car drivers. They're feeling the hot, but you can't see the flame.
Yeah.
All right.
Ethanol.
Sorry.
Because of the fuel they use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to tell me they tip cinnamon on race car drivers. I'm like, okay. You do that. Your pit crew could have handfuls of cinnamon and go, "Is he on fire?" I don't know. Throw a handful at him. And, oh, look, he's on fire.
Oh, over your shoulder for good luck, but cinnamon is next level. It is a protection charm in some different forms of paganism and witchcraft.
Yeah. There's also got to be a real bastard to edit
has
this
not
video.
done anything for my Norse deities recently, and I tried to light a candle for them, and it immediately went out, and I was like, okay.
That's a bad sign.
I'm just going to let you guys chill.
Yeah. It's going to be really difficult to edit this because I was doing so many stupid fiddly things.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to...
Now just put a big scoop of vanilla ice cream in it.
Oh, that would be fucking awesome, actually. Yeah.
That would be the ultimate dessert then.
Or better than vanilla, peanut butter.
For Elvis, peanut butter, yes.
I'm a fat bitch. I'm the first to own up to it. If I could
give me vanilla or give me death.
Away, I would.
Or mango. Mango or vanilla.
Oh, mango, yum.
I'm partial to mint choc chip.
Fresh
I
mango.
love homemade mint choc chip. There's just something good about homemade mint choc chip ice cream.
I mean, there's something about homemade ice cream.
Mint mixed with chocolate is an abomination. It's a waste of chocolate. Like, mint is awful. And if you disagree, you are wrong.
I'm fine to be wrong. I'm wrong
you posted that meme on Facebook?
Sorry, which one?
I saw a meme on Facebook today that had like some mint choc chip ice cream and said, if you're eating this, you may as well eat this. And it's toothpaste with some choc chips stuck in it.
That wasn't me, but case in point.
Coincidence.
Yes. Yeah. No, I posted the one, the meme with the the puppet that's like awkward looking, and it's looking at the double slit experiment and changing the results based on if it was looking or not. Yes,
changed it based on observing it.
Yeah.
That's what I laugh. That's like the nerdiest fucking joke I've seen in a long time. I had to make
a joke.
But arbitrarily, like I make 3 cocktail videos a week. I tend to record them in order because it's easier for me to remember. Oh, I've done that one. Now I have to do that one. Now I have to do that one. This is going to be the last one because Friday's Elvis's birthday. But I thought once I decided I was going to set it on fire, I was like, I should do that one first while I'm sober.
Yeah, good idea.
Because I was worried about it even sober. So,
well, you succeeded.
my friend's D&D stream that I support on Patreon, just I'm their like #1 Patreon supporter, and I'm like, yeah, it's because I'm just like, have my money. They were like, hey, we've uploaded some Patreon only content. I'm like, is it just something that you were like, only Seer will bother to watch this? Have it.
Well, Stella's going to make a banana butterscotch sauce to have with Christmas pudding. Yum.
Ooh, that does sound nice. I'm not a
huge fan of banana. I found a really good vegan banana bread recipe in 2020 that I have actually liked. I still just, I'm not a huge fan of banana in and of itself. Yeah. I don't know why. I think it's just the texture. The texture of banana is weird.
I can see that.
Yeah, but, that's probably why I don't like it.
You know, all these things that, like, as an adult are apparently autistic red flags. I'm like, of course, let's not deal with that when I was a kid, because, you know, I was just a trouble child.
I just figured out Nintendo Lunchbox's boss's password.
1957.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to get really annoyed. I had a team leader that I had to be like, you need to use stronger passwords, because their passwords would be like really standard of, this is the most used password and has been hacked the most. And I'm like, you work in state government, you can't use those passwords. Change them, but not hugely to the point that they were unhackable. Mine are completely pointless references that if anyone actually worked out what my password would they'd just be like, you're a loser.
I think my password's about 20 characters, because they changed the rules. Instead of the old change it every 3 months or whatever, it's like, oh, we changed the authentication. So if you do a password that's more than 14 characters, you don't have to change it. Because current technology, that would take like 1,000 years to brute force. Yeah. And so I came up with a passphrase, and it's like 20 characters. And I tested that, and they're like, you know, current technology, that would take like 1.5 million years to brute force. So I'm like, I'm okay.
I love that.
Although with exponential growth, like in a couple of like years, it would be significantly shorter.
And that's why I said with current technology, because there's a fun website that actually shows you how much better cracking has gotten, and it'll do a comparison saying how long would it have taken to crack this password in 1995 and 2000, and even like a dictionary word in 1995 would have taken 6 months to crack, and now it's 0.01 of a second, but it's really interesting to see. Yeah, the sort of effectiveness of the cracking has gone up exponentially as well.
Yeah,
and that's why you have to have.
I recently had to hack into a friend's laptop. It was their mother's who had passed away, and it was an Apple, so I couldn't just I had to do a brute force on it, but because I just bought my new computer, it took like 40 minutes. And it was like a 10 character password. It was great. Yep. I felt like such an elite hacksaw.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Even though all I did was just download some software to do it. Also, I used to work at a company, and there were like 6 people who worked there. Like not like, I think maybe 7, but the IT person who was the boss's son, of course, a lot of nepotism, set up the maximum security for passwords, every option you could enable. So every password had to be certain length, have a character, uppercase, lowercase, number, a symbol, and it would remember the last 30 passwords. And plus some others as well. And it was just ridiculous, because all I did was have one word and just put a sticky note on my computer and remember what the number I used on the end was, because 6 people, come on.
Yeah.
No one's trying to steal our secrets.
No. I've been blown away by within state government different departments that we have to liaise with, that we share software with, and different softwares we have access to have different levels of security. And it's like, if I'm dealing with anyone's personal information to the degree that I have to work in the sector of health, all of them should be 30-day change passwords, and all of them should be the top security for passwords. This should not be optional. Like, it just blows my mind that they're so different, they're so out of sync, that I have to have different passwords for everyone, because otherwise I can't keep track of what's the password for which. So at least going back from a week of leave, I know what my passwords are, because I know how they're all different. I've purposely made them things that are bizarre enough, references to things that no one would think of it. And if they ever saw it, they'd be like, why did you do this? I'd be like, because I'm a loser. Like,
yeah. A lot of my passwords are a mnemonic built around an internet password I had 20 years ago. And in dial-up days, I had to enter it every single time. So it was a complex
burned in your memory,
of characters and whatnot. But because I literally entered it hundreds of times, I remember. So now I use that as a base with a particular mnemonic, depending on the circumstance of the password. So I've got, dozens of unique passwords that I can always remember. Because the base of them is this thing I had to enter hundreds of times. And it's like, even if someone got one of my passwords and understood the mnemonic I used for that and thought they could then crack another one, like my social medias or something, they wouldn't, because I do it slightly differently each time, and the number of variables, there'd be, thousands of things they'd have to think of.
That website you mentioned that checks password strength and how long it would take.
Yeah.
Does it just assume a brute force attack or something like a hash dictionary?
I think it's a combination of known exploits and brute force. So, like, if you use a dictionary word, they're just like, no, that's getting cracked in a second, buddy. But then it's depending on the length and complexity, it'll estimate how difficult it would be to brute force. And when I was showing it off to some people once, there's two different ones. One just says the complexity of your password, and one tells you how that's become less difficult to crack over the years. But there's ones like, as I'm typing in, and I was saying, for instance, like, you don't want to use dictionary words, even long dictionary words. And I said, for example, and I was putting in Excelsior as password. And as it got longer, like it's saying it'll take longer and longer and longer to crack. And when I've got up to Excelsior, it's saying it'll take 5 years to crack. And then I put the R on the end, it becomes a dictionary word, and it was like 2 seconds.
Yep.
It's just
yeah.
And I said, and I didn't even realize it was going to be this good lesson for the people, because I was just typing it in, and the number of how long it would take to crack was going up and up, and then I finished the word and it went, oh no, 2 seconds. I said, that's it. See, don't use dictionary words, because there are scripts that will just test every dictionary word.
Yep, for sure.
I just don't use words.
And also, like, even if someone hacks one of your favorite websites and gets the database with all the passwords aren't stored. The hash is stored. So the people who get the database have to then hack those hashes. Yes. So you're probably still safe, but don't use dictionary words. Don't even use like one dictionary word like with a number behind it. Like, don't even do that. Mix it up. Put capitals. Put exchange letters for numbers.
Or a very long passphrase. A very long passphrase is as complex as putting in numbers and characters.
Even better.
Very long, like 15 or 20 characters.
Even better. If you can't work out what the words are, and it's just random numbers and letters.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Yeah, which is a good thing to do. I got an extortion email recently It was that one saying like, "Oh, I've hacked your camera and recorded you whacking off the porn," and I was like, "Ha, more for you. I don't use my laptop to watch porn." So I know it's not true because I don't watch porn on anything with a webcam on it. And but what was interesting, because it was my email address, it was they got information from some sort of cracked database of passwords, and they said, "We know one of your passwords is," and I saw it and I was like, "Oh, that's right, I used to use that as a password." And I went, "Ooh, they're clever. They've bought a database of passwords." And this was matched to my email address. And they just knew from whatever service it was, and it was from 10 or more years ago because they haven't used this particular password for 10 or more years. And so they said for whatever one was cracked, this email address used this password. And if you never changed passwords, that would freak you out because it's like, oh, they do know a password. But I was like, oh, I haven't used that for like 10 years. But yeah, if you were still using that, that's a pretty clever strategy for bluffing someone.
It's phishing.
It's
a phishing
they're
tactic.
going to head off. So good night, nobody.
Bye-bye, nobody. Live long and prosper.
And I love Nintendo Lunchbox. It was like, I didn't mean to make this a password class. Look, it doesn't take much, and we'll just go on 10.
We got to nerd out about something. We always nerd out about something.
Yeah, and we haven't done a Lord of the Rings stream in
Not for a while.
No.
Wait, I'm just going to go off and rinse this.
I was
vaguely
one of my
discussed it
friends
the other
just put up
night.
about like the last season of Vikings got put up on Netflix today, and I'm in two minds as to whether or not I want to watch it because the first seasons of Vikings were reasonably good. It's hard because like they'd taken a level of creative license with what we knew were historical characters and kind of just made them brothers, even though historically we know they're not. But then they reasonably historically accurate with Ragnar's sons, which you can't do because it's in the Dark Ages where not enough was written down. And so we know that Ivar was nicknamed the Boneless, but we don't know why. And there's numerous reasons given by numerous people. And there's lots of little narratives about his brothers. And yeah, it's just, I think they've gotten to the point where they're like trying to make it historically legit again. And I'm like, but you can't, like, you took this down a creative license, just roll with it. Throw some fucking dragons in there. Who cares?
Yeah. Well, the third season of Cobra Kai dropped, I think, today as well.
Yes. Yeah, I saw that. I think it's hard. Like, if stuff's being filmed and they were waiting to release it, like, you've got to release it this year because a lot of them couldn't film last year with all the COVID shit.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Most of them are coming out to my state.
Having meltdowns at staff because even staff at Mission Impossible shooting locations weren't adhering to the COVID regulations.
Yeah.
I don't agree with yelling at staff, but I also was like, I understand why, but also it's Tom Cruise, so I feel less likely to give you a bit of rope to go.
I heard Tom Cruise from here, like just with my ears.
Like Tom Cruise abusing people, that's not new.
Yeah, but at least this time it was for a valid reason.
Yes,
not
true.
because they made eye contact or some shit like that.
Yeah, it was. People were willing to let it like have a little bit of leeway because it was COVID, and like Stella's just said, yeah, Vikings is so historically inaccurate, but it's entertaining, so I go with it. Look, I was fine while Travis Fimmel was still in it because Roy is fine, but as much as the other guys are cute and are actually closer to my age, so I should find them more attractive, they're just not.
Travis is in a new Ridley Scott sci-fi series that Foxtel, which was actually pretty good. And right towards the end, they gave hints. It's in the Alien universe.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm about to watch that this coming week.
What's it called?
I finally got up to it. It's Raised by Wolves, I think.
Raised by Wolves.
Oh,
and you look
I've seen that.
Yeah, the lead character, the robot, you go like, oh my God, she was cast for the physicality. And it was like, you just look at her, she's just long and skinny with this absurdly long neck and it's like, can you move in a way that looks kind of human but a little bit weird? And then she's clearly gone beep boop, and they're like, fuck you, we're casting you. Can you make your neck longer? And she goes, bling, and it's like, yeah, oh damn,
go gadget neck.
Yeah.
Now Stella's losing it because Fimmel as Ragnar was chef's kiss, like gorgeous. It's the same as Charlie Hunnam as Jax in Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
It just works. But I'm also aware that as a white AFAB, we've been programmed to forgive blonde white boys of a lot more shit. So, you know, I'd also like some beautiful black guys in leads playing those kinds of characters who have complexities. That'd be great.
The Travis Fimmel still, like when Raised by Wolves came, I wanted to find out how old he was, and I looked up his thing and it's like, he used to be an underwear model. And I said, did he?
Yes.
I looked up his modeling shots, and Jesus Christ.
He's hot.
But he also looks totally different as about a 20 to 25-year-old. He looks totally different to what he does now.
And like he was in a J-Lo music video. Why do I know? That could be taught law. Instead, it is travel, Fimmel, knowledge. Why? That could be something for my degree. Instead, I've decided to retain shit about an actor because I read it once.
Right, I'm
my head's so full of Simpsons quotes.
My younger brother has been watching it from the start, and he's up to season 20. And because I'd got Disney Plus while I was on leave to watch a few things, he was like, "You could try and catch up to me on Simpsons." And I was like, "No, I sleep."
Like, look at that. That's young Travis Fimmel as a model.
Gorgeous.
My God, it's like he looks.
Charlie Hunnam when he was in Queer as Folk. Charlie Hunnam in Queer as
like
Folk.
Ragnar and model him. It looks like two different people.
Charlie Hunnam in Queer as Folk, please.
Okay. Charlie. Oops.
Hunnam. H-U-N. There we go. Charlie Hunnam when he's in Queer as Folk, where he plays a gay guy, and he was playing a character who was 15. He was 18. Even though he did a full nude scene, they had to cut it because his character was 15.
Oh yeah, there's
face.
little Charlie Hunnam. Yeah.
He's so cute.
And that's like, that's Charlie Hunnam now, and in Queer as Folk. But
he's gorgeous.
Enough thirst. Okay, there we go.
I've been
again. I have no stake in this game.
Yeah,
just does nothing for me. Sorry.
Yeah, but no, Stella. What I think is Fimmel is actually trying deliberately to look less like he did as a model. Like, particularly in Raised by Wolves, he's going, I am not pretty in Raised by Wolves.
No, he wants to be a serious actor now, and that's the thing. He did modeling because it got him a visa for the US so he could get into acting. Yeah.
And the story told about how he got the contract is hilarious too. Like he, just walked into the agency and took his shirt off.
And I love, like, he's a country boy from Victoria, so you can imagine.
And that's the thing,
he'd get
he's
up
a country
to
boy with no money, and
like, and I think that's part of, like, I know so many people who were that kind of personality because of growing up around those kind of kids that I think that's part of the draw.
All right.
Though I have loved this in 2020, watching people thirst over someone who they literally only had a photo of his hand. Corpse husband. If anyone's heard, I think it's E-Girl. Hang on, I'll look it up. It's E-Girl something, but it's a song that when it went off and my headphones were not connected, I got stares on the bus.
I hate it when that happens.
It's Egos are ruining my life, and the lines are choke me like you hate me because you love me, and then it's got a line about you want to date me when you fuck me, That's really fun to go off full volume on a bus in a bougie old people suburb.
Yike. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I like it.
Just because my headphones were like, I'm going to randomly disconnect. And I was like, please don't.
My phone turns off music when if my Bluetooth headphones.
One of my sets does, the other one doesn't, and it happened to be sports set that does not do that. And I was just there on the bus, like, well,
Yep.
I mean,
well, that is a thing that happened to me today.
Anyway.
All right.
Shelley was saying she's heard of Corp's husband and people were trying to dox and harass him because he doesn't show his face. That's part of why he doesn't show his face. He's spoken out about how he's a chronic pain and chronic health person, and some days he can't even function. And he also suffers from severe anxiety. So why the fuck would he want to show his face? And the fact that people have tried doxing him is bullshit. I hate that that's the world we live in. So as long as he wants to keep his face anonymous, that's fine. As long as he keeps using his voice modulator, I will listen.
Oh, sorry. You know what just popped into my head? Because you said e-girl, basically.
Yes. E-girl's
the most notorious one. The one who sold her bathwater.
Yes. I know who it is, and I can't think of her name.
Can't remember her name. But she did an actual porno on OnlyFans. Like, there was a running joke that she was just milking the thirst of these...
Delphine.
Yeah, Belle Delphine, that's it. And it disappeared from... It was the thing on Twitter for about an hour. Someone I know said, oh, no, she actually did it. And she apparently did an actual, like, having sex with a boy porn.
Yep.
And I was like, wow, okay.
Even though she's apparently removed it now, how many people screen recorded it?
Thousands.
I have friends who were like, it's on Pornhub.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, we shouldn't be using Pornhub anyway because that's got all kinds of problems. But free is free, and I understand for some people that's the draw.
Yeah. But I was really blown away. Like, this guy I knew as a game guy says, oh, she really did. And then someone in the comments had actually posted clips of it. And I went, oh, my God, she actually did. Okay.
And that was the thing. Like, as much as she put it up on OnlyFans for paid people, that doesn't stop people recording it and screen grabbing it and sharing it to paying people, which, of course, they're going to do when you're that big. It doesn't make it okay, but that's what's going to happen.
I literally just found it in the time.
Yeah.
I thought we were talking about it.
Already found it. It's everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course it is. And she knows that. It's like, she's not going to, it was only supposed to, she would have known the instant it went live, people would be saving it and distributing it. But, but that also, it wasn't a big thing. Like, it was on Twitter for about half an hour or something, and then no one mentioned it again. It's like, okay, our attention span is really short.
It's just such a non-issue. Like, so what if she wants to do that? Exactly.
Yeah. And that's kind of how everyone's reacted. It was like, for a brief moment, all these thirsty boys were like, oh my God. And then it's like, okay.
On to the next thing. Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like we're playing games on my phone, and I'll sometimes download like cheap free ones. You know, they try and get you to buy things for the game.
Yeah.
If they can be a distraction, and they play a bunch of ads for other ones. And there are all these ones they advertise that it's like, ooh, innuendo, like you might get some cartoon nudity in that game. And it's like, ooh, yeah, I might. Or I could go on one of the thousands of free porn sites and get... So to me, it's a real weird group of people who go, yeah, I'm going to download that game with lots of spammy ads because I might see some cartoon nudity in it. It's like, okay, sure.
Minors who don't know how to access things above age parameters that have been set in place by their parents.
Possibly, yes. But it's every now and I think, ooh, look, this game's suggesting you might see some nude cartoons. or I could just go onto a porn website. That's the other thing I could do. Anywho,
go back and look at my sex tapes.
That too. So that's the silly running joke I like in Brooklyn Nine-Nine with name of your sex tape.
Yeah, name of my sex tape.
Casey Anthony, who was. I think they had to drop the charges, or I can't remember now. But it was either drop the charges or she had to have her guilty verdict reversed of killing her toddler daughter because the cops had botched the investigation. Casey Anthony has opened a private investigation firm in Florida, registered to the home of former O.J. Simpson investigator.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
I hate America.
Yeah. It's like that horrible kid who went to one of the Antifa rallies that was in a different state to where he lived with a rifle just so he could shoot some people, and he murdered a couple of people. And he's now he was paid a big chunk of money to endorse a particular brand of coffee. He's our guy who shot left-wingers. We think he's awesome. And it's like,
he didn't kill anyone. He acted in self-defense of someone who he shot in the back. Yes, okay.
Well, he crossed state lines with
an
a
illegal
rifle
weapon,
specifically to kill people.
But he didn't kill anyone. I hate you, America.
Yeah, it's fucked. It is fucked. The world is fucked. Oh yeah, Stella's saying that's the sort of stuff about the porn, saying it's like the parody if the coyote finally catches the roadrunner and then suffers existential pain. Is what sense does he have? Yeah. Although I remember seeing T-shirts in the deep dark past where it's like everyone's like assuming if the coyote caught the roadrunner, he was going to fuck the roadrunner. And I was like, I don't think that's what coyotes do to roadrunners. Ooh, goodness. Goodness me. Yes, you're giving Abigail a flush there. My goodness. My goodness.
Ooh. Oh. Now I've just got family trying to make me fat. I mean, it's not as if I need help, but anyway. One of my dad's aunties, she's my auntie anyway. She just shared a recipe for cookies that's like butter, caster sugar, condensed milk, and self-raising flour. That's too easy to make. Why would you give me that?
No. But that's the yummy cookies are just like butter and sugar and flour. And that's just like fucking hell.
That's like it didn't feel like Christmas until too close to Christmas for me to do the normal baking that I do. So I made vegan gingerbreads for work. I then made, what was the other thing that I made right before Christmas? I made chalky ripple cake, and then I didn't have enough time to do a jelly slice. So when I'm back at work, I'll be taking in a jelly slice because those are the Christmas foods that we do. And they're things that because I talk to the toxic side of my family, which is the family in this state, I'm not going to share that with them for Christmas. So I take it into work. But when I took in jelly slice last time, I laughed. I literally had to then take a Post-it note and put it on it going, help yourself. Because people were like, I didn't know if I could just open the container. I'm like, there's a giant container of jelly slice. Please eat it.
Usually it's the other way around. You have to
I know.
Stop people from eating your stuff.
Exactly. Normally you're putting your name on it. I'm like, if it's there and it's in a container that's clearly mine, fucking help yourself unless it's like my milk that's like soy milk. So funny.
Stella?
Say hi.
Kitty.
Oh, the kitty looks happy. Oh my god, one of our cats went missing for days. I mean, so we started to think, oh god, I think she's been run over by a car or something. Then she just reappeared. And we go, I bet she found someone else to feed her, and she's just been staying one place getting fed. But we worried that there was a leak in a pipe under our house. We had to get a plumber in to fix it, and they basically took out a part of the external wall so they could get to the pipe. and they fixed it. And they said, "Oh, we'll come back and put a cover over that hole we made in the wall." I'm like, "Cool." And we kept thinking, "Oh God, what if one of the cats wanders under there and then gets sealed in when the plumbers eventually come back?" And we thought that may have happened. And there's a little door at another part of the house for the under the house stuff. So we sort of opened that and looked, and then apparently, like, I don't know, back was turned on this, and our other cat Mimsy went in there. And it's like, oh no, Shadow's not around. So close the door. So now Mimsy is shut under the house. And I woke up this morning, I could just hear this Mimsy with her really demanding, meow, 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 meow. Because Mrs. Angry had realized she was under the house and let her out. And she just sort of came out of the thing, just expressing her displeasure, letting the management know that she wasn't going to put up with this. And it was just like 5 or 10 minutes of her going, meow, 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 meow.
Yeah, Opie came to me this afternoon and was just like, would not stop meowing. I'm saying to him, what do you want? Meow. Okay. Stand up and say to him, what's wrong? Like, show me what's wrong. Because normally if it's food or water, he'll show me. He'll take me to the bowl. No, I'm just going to stand here and yell at you. So I just said to him, I cannot help you, like, unless you want a pat, which he kept trying to bite me, so I'm not going to pat him. I'm like, I don't know what to do. Leave me alone. He's just been in a mood today.
Yeah. So both my cats are idiots, in short, but, That's
At least I've only got one.
Yes. Mimsy is going to leave a bad Yelp review.
Stella, Abigail,
Parenting.
Settle.
Thank you, Fox.
I tell you one thing. I miss my mum's cooking. Ever since she got really sick and can't get her nice cooking, she makes the best chocolate icing banana cake around.
Oh, goddamn.
Oh, light, fluffy, smothered in chocolate icing on top. And it always used to sell very well at the Girl Guide stalls when Mum used to be Girl Guide leader. Actually, I think the bulk of the stuff on the Girl Guide store was Mum's stuff. No one would touch anyone else's stuff.
I wrote down all my mum's recipes. Just the things that I liked that she cooked, so I can do it myself.
I'm lucky. I could go into a bookshop and buy my mum's cooking.
Oh, nice.
Was it Alma? Yeah, Alma's cookbook. It's a Kiwi New Zealand cookbook. Oh, everything in it's nice.
Oh, nice.
I got to remember to take in because like the gingerbread recipe that I used is like a family recipe that's 100 years old. The only animal product in it was eggs, so I just replaced it with flaxseed mixed with water. And so I had people at work going, what is the recipe for this gingerbread? Because it's not too gingery. And I'm like, it's because it's Depression era. They didn't have enough ginger, so they just chucked all cinnamon in as well. And so it's not super gingery. So I've got to remember to take that in on Monday when I go in, because I had all these people going, can we put the recipe? Yeah, it's just written down on a piece of paper at home.
Something occurs to me just now. Every piece of ginger I found or like bought or whatever is kind of like a whitey, yellowy color, right?
Yeah.
And yet people call redheads gingers.
Oh,
doesn't make sense.
That does not make sense to me now.
You probably haven't got Queensland ginger. Queensland ginger is red.
Yeah, but that's been going for a while, and you get that in the US and Canada, and I doubt they get.
Okay, so they're saying that it's something to do with it being cited as redheads being called ginger only within like the 19th century.
I think some forms of ginger have red. I'm seeing a picture of one that has like a red flower.
Yeah. So it might be more
So I
to do
think
with
that's
the
where
it
oil than the
So
actual.
the ginger we eat is the root
Pie.
of the plant, but I think at least some forms of ginger have a red flower.
Mm.
Yep.
Anywho, I'm going to make
The color
another
of the
video.
root oxidizes.
Okay, and now like pictures of redheads have come up, and I am thirsty.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, it's,
You know,
I couldn't.
I dated a woman who was Scottish and had that red hair, and oh my god,
Jealous.
yeah.
I couldn't work out. I was
It's pretty
chatting to a friend. We were talking about like D&D and Pathfinder characters that we create, and like they always do characters with gold eyes, and they were like it was to do with a book they read as a kid. And I'm like, I don't know why I've always liked purple eyes, and because people always associate that with Elizabeth Taylor. Oh, apparently today when I was rereading my Song of the Lioness series, I was like, no, I just really had a
Cocktail
hard
lovers, I hope
like
you
gender
think
fluid
you
character.
well. Hope the whole Christmas
no.
period treated you well, whether you celebrated.
Angry.
I don't know about you.
He
but I was
forgot
actually
to
pretty
mute.
good at myself,
Abigail, text him.
period. And,
He won't pick it. It's on silent.
and
He won't-
this one, I'm going to make a couple of drinks.
I'll
to show
try,
off
but
the bottles I bought. Actually had about
The
4 days
vibrating might.
away,
It's
not
on the
far
table.
away,
It might vibrate
uh,
enough for him to go,
about
wait,
an hour
what?
and a half away from where I live.
Angry.
To a place called Bellarine.
yeah. Okay, I texted him, but his phone's probably on silent.
A couple
If it
of
vibrates,
there,
it'll be
and
fine.
went and had some gin tastings there, and bought a couple of bottles. The first one I went to is in Geelong. Is called the Anther.
He didn't catch it.
They make a few.
So
really-
everyone gets a preview of his next video.
Oh yeah.
This is like their version of a slow gin. It's a cherry gin. I bought it because it was the
Just
most
do that.
different. They're all good. But this one was the most different.
I don't
And
think it's going to see it
You
flashing
probably heard
though.
slow gin.
He's
A lot of people
looking
make
at
the
the
mistake.
He might.
camera.
It's like right in front of him. If we all did it,
Slow distilling process.
How do I do that?
Slow berries.
See,
SL.
I'm not on the
my
millennial.
phone
I don't
has
know.
like these squeeze sensors on the side, and I can program it to do whatever. So
This was
program it to turn the torch on and
I
off.
go,
a substitute in a recipe.
does that work?
Called
There we
the
go.
black. That traditionally
Yay!
slow gin quite
Just
strong.
hopefully no one
Come on, Angry.
epileptic and prone to fits
Please,
from
yeah.
writing.
Other distillery I went to, the
No,
Bellarine,
still, because
one of their gins they call
New Year's Eve she was on.
I don't. I was never. I never had mod rights from here. The only time I had mod rights was when I was at Angry's
No,
place.
he's not.
really strong.
Unfortunately,
Really good. And again, I got this because it was the most.
StreamYard doesn't allow other admin or
was the most different.
moderators,
So I wanted to get a couple of things
so,
that were quite
They
different.
should.
which is a bummer.
So these are the two.
They should.
These forms.
It's not working. Either that or he's ignoring us.
The Blackthorn.
He's just ignoring us.
Yeah, it's not working.
Yeah.
How rude.
No, I know. I asked about mod rights, but like way back, and we looked into it, and StreamYard doesn't do it, unfortunately.
45 mils of, in my case, the cherry gin. Slow gin is pretty easy to get around the world. Just a side note,
Yeah.
if you look at the cocktail of the Blackthorn, you may find there's
I know,
another
make sure you eat
Yeah,
stuff.
Tell her, who knows we are.
very sweet and has a different trick. There you go. But
Angry
apparently,
fail.
as a gin cocktail, has been around for a very long time. It's
I mean, he's only done it a couple of times. He's normally pretty good, but
starting
Well,
off.
it's the
Yeah.
start of the year. He's got to do it once.
He'll figure it out eventually. He'll
I'm
get
just
back
gonna
in.
pay him
Oh,
out for getting old.
He needs one of those stream decks.
oh, wait, he's distracted and he's
We should stare
Angry.
disapprovingly at him.
Angry!
angry,
Angry!
angry,
Angry!
Hello. angry.
It's not working.
Angry!
Yeah, having a button on a computer where you can squirt water at someone would be really helpful.
Oh, that'd be great.
Angry! You, let's just say.
Woo.
You probably think we're being wankers. I mean, I am always a wanker, so
Angry! Oh, sugar!
angry.
We should all stare at
Angry.
him disapprovingly when he gets back.
Woo! Hey!
Oh,
Mute
Hey!
yourself.
Hey! Angry!
Hey.
Oh,
no,
It's all
Right,
right.
He's a-
1 ounce or 30 mils of more
Stare
standard gin.
disapprovingly
It
when
has
he
an
gets back.
aside, slow gin will almost always be a comparatively lower alcohol volume, between 20 and 30%. So 1.5 ounces of the slow gin, and I'm going to put 1 ounce, 30 of regular.
Well, we get a preview of his next cocktail vid then.
I mean, it's gin, so I'm not going to totally complain because, like, it's gin. But
it's alcohol.
Unless you're talking about Never Never, I'm not super interested.
We're also going to add 20 mils, 2/3 of an ounce of sweet vermouth, using an Australian vermouth from Unico Zello. This is their yuzu vermouth. And this, I was just realizing, this is almost, it's like a gin Manhattan almost. A Manhattan would be a whiskey and sweet vermouth. In this case, we are doing...
he needs a stream deck thing, so you can just press a button and it's done.
Okay,
yeah, but I think that would be too much setup for
Mute. Oi.
I think he's in his kitchen for this, or he's at it on his bench or something, so there's probably not much room for it.
In the words of my kids, look down.
Stir bitters in. In this case, we are going to do 3 dashes of Angostura bitters.
Feel for anyone who watches this back being like, what a bunch of dickheads.
What like, the hell is going on here?
No. Someone tuning in.
Oh, wait. When he turns back.
Angry. Mute.
Nice one. Oh, come on. Oh, no, he's probably looking at another tab on his laptop. So he can't even see us. He does that. Yeah.
What a waste!
I know. Yeah. How well. At least we got a good laugh out of it.
Look at him now when he gets back.
Yep. Staring
from multiple works you shake it, so add ice to the shaker.
Oh god, ears.
For about 10 seconds.
There we go.
Oh my god. Rip everyone with headphones.
Actually, this isn't too bad. I've had worse.
Yeah, that's been worse.
Oh.
Now I'm going to strain that.
I love how he stops, he poses as himself and goes.
And we
editing, because otherwise it would just be insane some of the stuff he has to do and like edit.
Slow gin, like this gin, and the sweet red vermouth give it a wonderful colour. But how does it taste?
It's gin, it'll be good.
How does it taste?
Well, that's good.
It's all about the mouthfeel.
Rich sort of berry
it's good.
From the gin.
Speaking of which, I bought some Canadian Club the other day, so I'm going to have that. Good stuff.
Surprised I'm not.
I'm going to not continue to drink tonight because if I do, I don't know that I'll be conscious for my date.
No. Yeah,
I mean, that's better for me.
Question,
please
Abigail.
Report back and tell us how you go.
Question, Abigail. Did you remember anything from New Year's Eve?
Yes. Yes, I remember most of it. I don't remember what I don't remember. So, but I tend to remember everything.
I love the chair fail on the night. Like,
Nettie.
Nelly.
See, I did exactly the same thing, but because I have an 18 in dexterity, I managed to save myself from falling on my ass. Nettie, on the other hand, that's her dump stat and on her ass.
Alcohol by volume.
Yeah, I think Nettie's going
to make their weight in gold.
Sweet vermouth to give it a bit of.
I did love.
all around.
On a
This is
D&D
quite a good-
stream I watch on Saturday afternoons, one of the guys who has been playing an orc who actually is very intelligent in orcish. Just when he has to speak in common, he sounds
so
like
up
an
yourself
idiot.
as well.
Yeah.
He actually got to play a different character who was like really highly intelligent in common, and you could tell he was having so much fun because he was getting to speak like a normal person.
And
Yeah.
if you treated yourself,
I recently
and,
finished a 5e game. We actually went from level 1 to level 20
Oh, wow.
over the course of like 3 years. It was epic. And I played a wizard, of course.
Here we go.
And she had ended up with an intelligence of like 24 or something. It was great.
Wow.
Got to
Yeah.
disapprovingly at him when he gets
I know
back.
he
We
went
don't
to
hear
turn
any
the
secrets
camera
or
off.
angry while he thinks we're muted.
Yeah. Or we should all just do that and pretend we're muted.
Doesn't love like the way that his type applies so it's up here, but the tail is just majorly down.
Yeah. Well, he's put on a bit of weight, and he'll be the
We
first to
all
admit
have.
that.
I don't know
Oh,
anyone
look, I'm sporting a Corona baby. Like this year has
Yeah.
been really good for
I don't know anyone who's
for
actually lost weight
growing
over
sideways.
COVID.
For sure.
I left the microphone on. Did I leave the microphone on? Oh, okay. No, no. See, Lumi's laughing too much.
Sorry.
We tried to get your attention, but you obviously had a different tab
We
open.
tried so many different ways too.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You don't love us.
I even
enough,
texted you.
Angry.
We need a nuke button or something that shoots him with like a thing of water or something.
Yeah, we need a water
His
gun.
attention.
A web-enabled water gun that squirts water at you when you have your mute button on.
Oh dear.
So angry. How's the cocktail?
What?
How's
How's
the
the
cocktail?
cocktail?
Never mind. We
I hope
heard.
it's not too stressful for you, Stella. But I feel ya. Work can be like that.
Oh yeah, stress
Sorry.
eating.
Sorry.
Stress eating
Yeah,
is
no,
my
sorry.
life.
I was on a totally different screen and I wouldn't have seen anything.
How dare you?
Yeah.
It's
We were
good.
like waving our torches like that. And
I had to work that
we
out.
had
For those
a
millennial
piece of
who's not
paper
really a
onto the.
millennial, who don't really understand technology, who allowed
And
me
then we
out the
start
house.
poking faces at you.
I 100% could design a smart water gun that I could shoot through the internet. I could do that.
Please do. I would support that.
Oh dear. Well,
I
yes.
do love your, how's it going to taste? And because I just said it's going to taste really good because it's gin, and then you're like, well, it tastes quite nice. Of course it does, 'cause it's gin.
No, it is. It's very good. It's
It's not South
Yeah.
Australian gin though.
It's South Australian vermouth though.
Well, that's why it's good. You need
So-
never gin.
Yeah, those are two Geelong gins basically from my
Geelong's not
week
too
away.
bad.
and an Adelaide vermouth. I have several Adelaide gins actually.
Oh,
Stella.
when did you start? When did you start, Stella? Because 2 years is a long time to be really stressed out.
Exactly. I just.
I mean,
I'm
being
for
debt free,
Stella.
that's like a whole level of stress that you don't need, that no one
Yeah.
needs. So I can see why you're doing it, but 2 years, that's a hell of a long time. Oh, 3 months. Oh no. Bummer. So you've got 21 months still to go. We're here for you, Stella. Anytime you need some stress relief, we're here.
Love you,
We all love
Stella.
you.
The only thing I
Especially
didn't like
Pablo's
COVID,
I'm sure we could-
the COVID.
Stella,
in the
we
early
can get on
days was
webcam
stress.
anytime
I'm
you
not
want.
stressing depression.
Set up a Chatterbait account and we'll just do our
I was
thing.
about to say, were we
Exactly.
talking about giving someone hand relief there? What was going on?
Stress relief. But
No,
Okay.
Stella got
There's
a
only
stress
so
relief.
many commissions I can get from work, angry.
We love you, Stella.
I'll just get a big gun, blow up doll of angry.
Oof,
No,
just a punch.
another one?
Another one.
Like, can only have so many sex dolls. Like, seriously.
exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, God. I know the whole stress of getting out of debt thing. I tried to do this
Yeah.
big YouTube thing a couple of years ago that fell through, and I didn't work for over 6 months. And on top of not having income in that time, I've never actually properly counted it because it would depress me too much. But I probably blew about $20,000 and ran my credit cards up to like $40,000 just for living expenses, and it took 2-3 years to bring stuff under control. And it's
I
just
should be able to pay off most of my debt from financial abuse from family in the next year to 2 years. So that's not. It would have been better if I hadn't done anxiety spending this like 2020. But
Yeah,
2020 was
there's been
shit of
plenty of
year.
that.
I'm not going to blame myself for needing to give myself some relief with money that had family not financially abused me would have just been savings.
Yes.
My secret to getting out of debt was to become homeless and then just like not pay them and get a really bad credit rating and then just live out the 7 years that it lasts on your credit rating, and now I'm debt free. I don't recommend that method.
No,
it's not healthy.
I've been looking at it and I've cut down a lot of my expenses. The other thing is because I don't rent with people, I rent myself. And for my mental health, I can't live with people because I don't trust people to live with them after my experience with family. So it's been trying to reduce my expenses to the point that I've actually reduced my expenses quite well, especially because I don't have to pay for public transport to and from work. I only pay for like public transport when it's something other than work, because during the pandemic as a health worker, I get free transport. So that's been a huge help this year. But yeah, they're just like, during the pandemic, I'm like, how long's that? How long am I not having to pay $50 a month? Please help.
Yeah. Well, even though I don't have debt, I'm on a disability pension, and that does not pay a lot.
No.
So I'm like constantly like poor. I think I've got like $1 in my bank account till Tuesday, and I got plenty of food. Don't worry about me. I'm fine.
But it's that
it's just the stress of not having money for a couple of days before payday, and it's just awful.
I'm total opposite. I'm on disability up in Queensland, and I've still got 20-something bucks in the bank. That's not including what's in the wallet from Christmas. No. My best way is go see family for a few days.
Yeah,
that's how you survive.
As fuck.
Yeah, Stella, bankruptcy is like. I feel so. It's so like heart-wrenching hearing that. I feel for you. I really do. I almost
where people have to
went
pay
bankrupt.
us back. Yeah.
Yeah, you poor thing. I assume they only like take as much as you owed. Like,
yeah, it should be. And some stuff as well with when you declare bankruptcy, depending as to when you declared bankruptcy and when that debt was and what type of debt that is, some of it they have to waive. They can't actually pursue it once you declare bankruptcy, depending on the type of debt. Because that's something
if you can prove you couldn't afford it, sometimes you can get fully wiped.
Yeah. Stuff has just asked, what's the Adelaide Mikey card? It's a Met card. It's the same kind of thing. It's just called a Met card or a Metro card. So
it's a smart card, but I assume it's
like our Go card. Yeah.
Yeah, so you just swipe it when you get
Yeah.
on. We
Yeah.
only have one zone because Adelaide. But
So
I just show
I've
my work
used-
ID as
Yeah.
someone who works for the ambulance, and I get free transport to and from work. If I'm traveling for anything other than that, I use my card. While I've been studying at a full-time rate, I was entitled
so good to
to
hear that,
that
Stella.
discount. I'll be going to part-time study, so I will have to pay the full adult rate again, which is a little bit more expensive, but still a lot cheaper if I'm getting the pandemic free transport to and from work to reduce how much health people are parking at places with no parking.
That's
So,
horrible. In our
gee.
state, if you're any government-related job, you get free transport.
I think
It's ridiculous.
Anyone who works for Woolies, Coles, service
Mm.
stations, anything like that, that's an
Mm.
essential service, should get free transport, in my opinion.
I think public transport should be just free across the board.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
you
that
should
would be
hear our
great.
bus
It
drivers
should
up here.
be
They agree on that.
A public service.
Mm.
Yeah, because it reduces how many people are on the road. It minimizes how much
Mhm.
risk you've got with car accidents. It encourages people who are going out and having a drink to do the right thing, because we can't guarantee they will if there's going to be a cost.
Yep.
You know, it minimizes a lot of risks. And if you're social distancing properly on the bus, which most people are, it's not that huge of an issue. I mean, most people are still wearing
What's social
masks.
distancing?
Well, it's mandatory here in Victoria at the moment.
We got idiots in
Masks.
Queensland.
We've got a lot of idiots in Adelaide.
Oh.
I find on the buses, people who are commuting to and from work still wear masks.
Mm.
And people who are in shopping centres, if they're my age group, they are wearing masks. If they're the elderly people, they don't.
This is the reason why I wear masks, is because idiots don't wear masks on buses or trams or trains.
I wear one. I'm
Yeah.
high risk. And I can't wear disposable masks because I'm allergic to something in them that worsens my asthma, so I can only wear
I
cotton.
can't breathe through those. It's
Mine's just- I-
ridiculous.
There's a chemical in them that makes me nauseous, but
Yeah.
like I just push through it and just do it.
I had an asthma attack in a disposable mask at work, and they were
Oh,
like,
that's not good.
and I was like, it's fine. I've got my puffer, but also, can I
Yeah.
just wear my cloth mask, please? And they were like, yeah.
Yes, you
We'd rather
should.
not
Yeah.
make it work. That's not worth the paperwork, let's be honest.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. It's good when you can joke with the clinical staff about, we don't want to do the paperwork, just wear the other mask.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I when they had the first case in the Redlands where I live, everyone was still being idiots, not putting on masks, anything. I'm going, oh my god, don't they know how it's spread?
Oh, they just think that they're immune to it because they're idiots. I mean, there was a music shop. I'm not sure what state it was in because I can't remember now. I've seen too many signs from morons, but there was a music shop that actually put up a sign saying that your body particles to heal the virus. And so now people have just been leaving them 1-star reviews. And it's like, what level of dumb do you have to be to say that you are banning masks from being allowed inside your store when it goes against state policies as well?
Yeah.
Oh, exactly.
I think it was New South Wales. But you go on the fucking websites, the QAnon and the anti-mask stuff, they're lunatics.
Oh
they
my
are
god,
absolutely detached from reality.
Yeah.
They G each other up with the most insane.
Oh, they can go get into one big building and talk to get it for 2 hours. Let them all get it.
If it was only them,
but then they'll spread it to everyone else.
Vulnerable people.
No, leave them in the room. Leave them in the room.
What, for like a month?
Yeah, just see like
I'm all for that. Just in general, like get them all together in a room for
say they're in a big
Natural
auditorium
selection.
having a rally, and then just seal the doors and just keep them in there. But no, because I'm in a couple of Facebook groups that make fun of people who post stupid things online.
Nope.
One of them is called "In a Sane World, This Would Be Satire, but I Can't Tell Anymore," and the other one is called "Man Invents an Imaginary Scenario, Then Gets Mad About It," and the post, not completely, but almost universally from super right-wing, Trump-loving QAnon anti-mask idiot. And it's, while you sort of get a bit of a laugh out of it, and it's like, but now I'm sad because I absolutely despair for humanity because this is really, really bad. Like this, and I know people go on to these groups, particularly the QAnon stuff, just to wind them up, and they say the most outrageously stupid thing imaginable. Yeah. It doesn't work because these people fucking swallow everything. Their latest, and this, there's a high profile.
The people who started QAnon, is a troll. That's all he does. He is the troll that started it, and he just posts crap. He just like whatever he wants, and these people just eat it up. And
almost
he knows it's wrong. Like
almost certainly the person who has controlled the Q posting for a long time, probably not the person who invented it. The person who invented it was probably a South African dude, but it was posting on like 8chan, and it got taken over by he never admitted it, but I've listened to a podcast where someone did quite good investigative reporting and made a very compelling case that at a certain point, the guy who was running the 8chan board, who is a guy who runs things like child porn and etc., and is a pedophile and lives in the Philippines and preys on kids. He took over the Q thing. He just because he was like an admin of the board, and so he just orchestrated a thing. So he ended up being in control of posting as Q. You could never absolutely prove it, but this person made a very compelling case. And so, the person who's posting as Q is a pedophile, which is hilarious because it's a central thing of theirs that, Trump's fighting against this. Trump and Q is fighting against this global cabal of pedophiles. The guy behind it is actually a pedophile. And not said as a slur, it's this creepy guy who runs child porn boards. And
Safa, I would love to do what you propose.
You have genuine issues like that where an actual pedophile, actual someone who is a child sex offender, and people don't want to label it as that, but then you've got people who, they hugged a kid and it looked weird, they're a pedophile. No, that's not how that works. Like, there needs to be actual certain types of behaviors and a certain predilection for that to be an actual certified thing.
Yeah, but they believe like fake videos and fake photos that have clearly been photoshopped. Like there's no like arguing with them.
No, there's no talking to them.
Logic doesn't work with these people.
True.
No, they're in a fucking cult. And
Safa just said about like Pence could veto the Biden win. Well, no, he can't. And there was a legal bid to get him to do that. That has been thrown out by the court that it went through. And his role to be able to even consider doing something like that has to go through a certain process for him to be considered able to be able to have that power. And he's not going to be given it because the courts are like, no. So,
if anything, Pence will be stabbing Trump in the back.
Yeah. So the loons are fixated on the 6th of January because that's when the votes from the Electoral College are presented to Congress to be ratified. And that's what they were fixating. Our man Pence will say, I reject all of this and I declared Donald Trump was the winner. And then this court case happened. And an absolutely rabid Republican from Texas, a guy called Louis Gohmert, who is a white supremacist. It's not hyperbole. He actively and regularly promotes white supremacist and neo-Nazi talking points. Like, not even like, Trump has been giving comfort to white supremacists and neo-Nazis. This guy Gohmert actively, repeatedly promotes neo-Nazi and white supremacist talking points. He's the one who pushed this case saying Pence had to reject the Electoral College vote in favor of Trump. And it was Pence and whatnot who were basically the other side saying, we're not doing that. Yeah. And so what happened after all the QAnon loons were fixated on January 6th. And Trump's talked about having a big rally in DC on January 6th. So, like, our man Pence is going to overturn it. And Pence
I'm trying to work out how they're going to do the protests. They're locking down around the state building.
Yeah, and Pence has gone non. So now you've got this. There's this lawyer supposedly who, until recently, was quite favoured by Trump. He's called Lynn something, but he went on this tear on Twitter when it became clear that Pence is going, no, dudes, I am not doing this. He went, Pence is a traitor. He's going to be arrested and executed by firing squad. And so the official Trump spokespeople are saying, yeah, we don't like that guy anymore. So he's been hung out to dry because he's just fallen off the deep end saying they're all going to be arrested and Pence will be executed by firing squad. And it's just like each time one of their stupid bullshit things falls apart, they just come up with another more deranged bullshit thing.
I can see the Republican Party splitting straight down the middle. Like,
I want to see it. I want Trump.
I would love to see that, but they never will because then they'd never win in another election.
No. See, the Republican Party doesn't want it to happen, but the 20 to 30% of loons that have glommed onto Trump, they'll do it. They'll destroy the Republic. They've already started saying the Republican Party, and this Lynn Wood. Thanks, Raiders.
Kitty. Hello,
Kitty.
Kitty.
there's a ginger.
Kitty.
The death glare I just got from my cat for saying that.
Kitty. Oh.
Yeah.
Poor pussy.
Yeah.
So,
Kitty.
Squishy
Kitty.
Wood guy has started saying he went, the Democrats are corrupt and evil, and George Soros, and now they're fixated that the Democrats are working with the Chinese Communist Party.
Oh yeah.
But now he's, besides saying Pence is going to be executed, he's saying the Republican Party is actively part of the conspiracy.
Okay.
And so there is this clump of loons who are going to want to split off from the Republican Party, which will literally guarantee the Republican Party never win a majority again, which is hilarious.
Well, one can only hope.
And, the other thing, Trump has decided Fox News are traitors now. And he's siding with these absolute ultra loons, the One America Network, which I think only exists on a website. I don't think they actually broadcast.
No.
But so Trump's decided the Republicans are traitors and Fox News are traitors. And so he's just going to go off and form this ultra loony right-wing clique, which will be hilarious because it will destroy conservative politics in the US. So God knows what's going to happen in the next 4 years. For fuck's sake, we just live in the stupidest timeline.
Actually, we might actually see states not be
They keep saying
Republican anymore.
Secede from the Union, but it's actually incredibly complicated legally. If you don't want to start an actual war, it's actually incredibly complicated for the states to split up. The federal government has deliberately made it very difficult. But
I'm still waiting for those nut jobs to suddenly get out with their guns and say, Trump is the real thing, and try and take over the White House.
I've even heard that California wanted to secede from the Union, which would be like most of the GDP of the US is in California.
More than half
a large percentage.
Country,
Yeah, so
if California they'd succeed.
I'd be all for California just to see the rest of the US just burn down in flames.
Yeah. And
not bitter, but also tortured.
Yeah. Thursday, our time, is the next test. That's when Trump's trying to rally all these ultra-right lunatics in DC. That's when the Congress will ratify Biden as the next president. That was a slip.
They could try, but it's not going to work.
Didn't see anything.
Thursday our time is the next, and it's the thing, you can never tell. Either nothing will happen, which is probably actually the most likely, or something absolutely wild and out of control will happen. And it's ahead of time, it's impossible to know which of the two. So
I still want to see Trump pulled out of the White House kicking and screaming.
Yeah, that would be funny.
That is still high on my wish list.
We could, or we could taser him until he stops moving and then beat him to death. I mean, if it's okay for black people, it's okay for a president.
No, just tase him and then drag him out. And it's like...
Tase him in the butthole over and over again.
I was just going to say, that's the Lonely Island song.
Threw it on the ground.
I threw it on the ground. Sorry, I've watched so many
part
of
my system.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone's not... It's the guy from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It's the comedy group.
Andy Samberg.
Like 10 years ago or whatever. And they still occasionally release stuff. But they have some very, very funny songs on YouTube.
I posted about one the other day on my Facebook profile.
That's right. Yes, I just had sex. That was a good one. Akon. And Jizzed in My Pants was another funny one they did.
I know that one.
But yeah, Threw It on the Ground is a funny one. It's just like he's playing this weird guy who thinks he's an edgy agitator and he's just being a dick all the time and throwing things on the ground. And then he says, and I was at a restaurant and there were some Hollywood fakes in there. And it's
poses,
It's what's his name from Lord of the Rings? And
it was Elijah Wood and Ryan Reynolds.
And he flips their table over because they're Hollywood fakes. And that's when they went, and they got me, and they teased me in the butthole.
Over and over.
It just shows them hitting him in the butt with a taser. And he's going, the moral of the story, you can't trust the system. So like, you think he's going to say the moral of the story is don't flip over tables in restaurants. But like, the moral of the story is you can't trust the system. Like, he goes to a kid's birthday party and he gets offered cake and he goes, but I threw it on the ground. You see like kid crying because he's throwing the birthday cake on the ground.
Have you seen the clip for the one with Michael Bolton?
Yeah, Jack Sparrow.
Oh, Jack Sparrow.
Jack Sparrow, yeah.
That made me like Michael Bolton.
The first script for that was given to Michael Bolton and he was like, this is vile. I can't do this. Could you rewrite it so that it would be a bit more friendly to my fans? Yeah. And they were like, yeah, fair enough. Okay. So they did. I want to see that first script.
But it's still pretty fun.
It was, because the Jack Sparrow works. It's so ridiculous. And then like all the other references they try to... him as Erin Brockovich is one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
So that made me like Michael Bolton because he's clearly got a sense of humor if you'll do something like that.
Exactly. And I love
as Scarface.
Yes. And I love like the ridiculousness of it, of like, we're here to do a really serious song and it's like, and no, I've watched this movie and so I've hyperfixated on it and so now that's all we're talking about for like however many days. It's also really relatable.
Just even that little exasperated bit at the end of him going, ugh, turns out Michael Bolton's quite the cinephile.
Trump's up.
It was very, very, very silly stuff.
Tweeting. I blocked him years ago. It's not.
I only see it if someone else posts it. Yeah.
Oh god, it's going over about Obamacare now.
Oh yeah, why not? That makes sense.
Is he live at the moment?
Really
or something?
Blatantly tell that it's not him tweeting.
Oh hell no!
Yes, but it's too well written. Yes.
The ones that are coherent, clearly written by someone with a brain.
Oh, when there only is several words, like a couple of words, that's Trump. But when it's like a written script like thing, it's someone in his office.
I did laugh at though. something that's at least a fun thing that was announced on like Twitter and the social medias today. This beautiful lesbian couple that I follow on social media because Jessica is a disabled and LGBT ambassador and talks about a lot of the things of being in the NHS with a disability and how long it took for her to get diagnosed as someone who's female in the healthcare system. Because obviously, you know, you're not really sick, but they've announced that they're pregnant. But what I've loved is that they announced when they were expecting, and it's Gemini, and all of the Astro people being like, no, I hope they come early so they're a Taurian, not a Gemini, because everyone hates Geminis. I'm like,
everyone hates Geminis.
Be taking away, guys. Let the lesbians have their moment.
Oh, good. I was just looking at like the news headlines and then some influencer who I've never heard of, an American Christian influencer who's pregnant is like dropped dead at Christmas, and it's like, I think she was suddenly unresponsive, and I'm pretty sure I know where this is going.
And also, she was probably only an influencer within a very small insular circle, not within the actual
Christian family bloggers, basically.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, I love it when they, that's like influencers. Oh.
I found a better headline though. Meth hidden in a burger at a quarantine hotel. Meth was allegedly hidden in a hamburger and syringes secreted in a thick shake in an attempted drug delivery at someone's hotel quarantine.
Nice.
Wow.
Meth
to your hotel quarantine. What could possibly go wrong?
I mean, they tried.
That's hilarious.
And yes, Stella, it's Jessica Kellgren Fozzard and her partner Claudia. And so Claudia's the one who's carrying their child. And I loved Claudia's now had chronic fatigue symptoms, which Jessica's also always dealt with. So she's like, oh, this is really horrible. And Jessica's going, is it? Is it?
Is it?
Tell me how that feels. I wouldn't know. But it's very much they're in a very loving relationship, and Claudia's always had to be the advocate for Jess. So now that she's having to go through some of the level of symptoms, it's like, now you know.
Oh my god. That's so cute.
But I loved when all the people were just like, not a Gemini, and I'm like, guys, that's not what we're supposed to be focusing on.
Yeah. I like wholesome stories like that.
And like, as someone who is child-free by choice and doesn't ever want kids, I love watching people who want kids go through that journey and have the outcome that they desire, because that's just so lovely. I think the way I described it today was it's like Christmas. It's not my jam, but I love watching people have their moments with it, because like it's just not interesting to me, but I'll be enthusiastic for you. Yeah, I know. It's so funny that Claudia's now getting some of those symptoms and being like, this is shit. And it's like, yep, welcome. But also I feel, because imagine your household dynamic, and they like Jess has put up a video, so I highly recommend checking that out later, where they talked about their journey and the experience, but they talked about their household functions as a disabled person and an able-bodied person with energy. And so to go to a disabled person and a person who's quite tired occasionally and sometimes just randomly screams in pain and can't move, not great. And this is things that people who are in completely able-bodied...
You're describing me a lot there. Yeah. Chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, but like most days I'm fine as long as I don't push myself, but then all of a sudden I could be walking along and my knee just feels like it's been hit by a crowbar.
I had my chronic fatigue flare up last night, and I realized it's because I had 2 days that were warmer days, so that always impacts, but also I'd socialized on both days, and I'd also done housework one day and gardening the other day, and I just did too much, and I got home last night, was like, I'm really tired, I wonder why, and then I'm like, because you're an idiot, and you didn't allocate your food correctly.
Yep. I'm at the stage where I can go for a 30-minute walk and be okay.
Yeah.
Like, if I push it any longer than that,
Yeah.
then like I have to spend the rest of the day and the next day recovering.
Yeah. Well, I was like, I
That's
had a
pretty
big
good.
weekend today. I did very little else other than online searching about medieval sewing practices and the book that I'm doing stuff from. And then tomorrow I'm like, if I can pattern make in the morning, great. If not, I've got a date. That could be enough energy for me to deal with because I have to deal with another person.
Yeah.
I started a sewing class, like machine sewing.
Yeah.
And I would love to learn how to make my own patterns. That'd be so cool.
I can send you some references for things because some of the books are really convoluted for no reason. If you can break it down to bare bones, it's very simple. And if you're naturally good at math, it's easier. I'm not good at math, but I understand the math for pattern making because it's reasonably well explained.
I'm good at math.
Yeah, so you'll find it a lot easier than me, who sits there going, but why is that measurement? And then, like, once I twirl it up, I'm like, oh, that's why, because it's in 3D. But when I'm looking at it, I'm like, I don't understand.
Fair enough.
Hello, Opie. Are you coming over to talk patterns?
Oh.
No, kitty.
He doesn't know what he's doing now. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Tell you what, I reckon I'm gonna go to bed. It's just gone 11.
Okay.
So it's 10:30.
Probably
after party.
So yeah, if anyone hanging around, hang around.
I should head off because I've got a date in now in almost 12 hours.
Yeah.
Good luck for your date.
Stress about that for a while longer. It's so good.
Yeah.
Let us know how you go.
Yes. I mean, presuming I don't end up dead and in a bank in a barrel, I should be fine.
Yeah, that would suck.
Fine. Alrighty. I'm gonna end the stream now and see all you fine people another time. Bye.